As I've mentioned time and time again, I'm just not well versed in politics.
Oh my God, she's gonna ult!
About it.
She's gonna ult! She's gonna cry! I knew it! I knew it! Yes! Fucking yes! The Snarkers always cry when they're backed into a corner. She's ulting!
Would really like to understand how one can be pro-Palestine, speak about the disagreements they have with the Israeli government, and still not be seen as anti-Semitic.
No, no, I called you anti-Semitic.
He could not give less of a shit. He's eating a snack while she's crying. He could not give less of a fuck. She is crying. He's like, let me tell you, I don't care. And the worst part is, like, these are fucking crocodile tears because she's crying on his behalf. I don't understand how people can call anti-Semitic because I was in the Palestine. No one's buying this shit, bitch. No one.
I was trying to understand what. Sorry, I fucking hate when I cry. I'm not.
Stop ulting, stop crying before Miskiff puts his hands down your pants. You're sending mixed signals, bitch. Stop.
Miskiff's gonna pop out of the ground like a Diglett.
He's gonna be like, she's good to go. She's good to go. Look at those tears. She's wet.
Look how wet she is.
Apologize. Like that's where I'm losing my sympathy. Is at no point during this has she apologized for her actions. She's apologized for the actions of others. She's apologized for how people feel. She's apologized for her staff, but never her actions. Nothing is ever her fault. Quick background on it before we pick up where we left off here, Icy. I don't know if you saw the stream last night.
No, I got home from work and I immediately crashed till 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, well, this YouTuber I'd never heard of, which I didn't react to her video on the stream because it was like 3 hours long, but I did like listen to it while I was at work, and it is terrible, absolutely fucking terrible. It is a YouTuber called Cruel World Happy Mind. Just a weird name for, yep, weird name for a YouTuber. Apparently, she is not a small YouTuber. She had like 1 million subs or something. Like, she's got a decent number. Well, she makes a video on Ethan Klein of H3 podcast, and she brings up some crazy allegations, most of which were debunked 5 years ago. These are really old allegations she's bringing up from 5 years ago. She references his Reddit account, which is 15 years old, and he hasn't used in like 10 years. So she's bringing up all this old stuff and making some wild allegations, such as Ethan's wife said that there were baby terrorists in Israel. Just outlandish Looney Tunes type stuff. So clearly she made this video to try to impress Hassan's audience, but it backfired because Hassan's audience also hated her.
So when does the Benny Hill theme start to play with all this?
Oh, we're getting there. So Hassan's audience also hates her after this video. Obviously, Ethan's audience is going to hate her because the whole thing's a hit piece on Ethan. A really bad one, but it's like a 3-hour-long hit piece on Ethan that she thought she was cooking with. And she thought it would impress Hassan and his crowd. But Hassan and his crowd ended up hating her. And do you know why? It's not because she got any of her research wrong in the video. It's not because they didn't like what she was saying about Ethan. But she said one wrong phrase during that 3 hours. Do you know what she did wrong? She referred to the Israel-Palestine war as a war, and she didn't call it a genocide.
Oh, what the fuck?
And they attacked the fuck out of her in her DMs and her comments, and there were death threats. So then she makes a second video apologizing to Hassan's audience for not calling it a genocide, and doubles down on her attacks on Ethan. And that should have been the end of it, but I guess she was scared that that wouldn't work. And I don't know. I don't know what was going through her mind for this third part, which is where we're at now. This gets us caught up to where we're at. Ethan calls her out on his podcast, which he records live, the H3 podcast, to come onto the podcast and debate him. And let's talk about it. Talk about these weird allegations and all this shit.
Okay.
For some stupid reason, this bitch said yes. And that's where we're at. They debated for about 4 hours. And we got about halfway through it last night. We're going to watch the other half tonight, and that's going to be the remainder of the stream.
Is that the video that Adam posted? I'm looking at the drama chat.
What did he post there? I hadn't looked at that today. I'll make sure he didn't post anything new. Probably. I believe he put that there. Yeah, that's the one. Talking to Cruel World,
Okay,
Happy Mind about that.
so I'm at least aware partially what's going on.
Yeah, so she agreed to come on and debate him, which she definitely shouldn't have done. Look, the thing is, like, I can't figure out where her mind's at, because if clout chasing was what she wanted to do, like, after getting attacked by Hassan's audience, after you made a video to get on their good side, and they still attack you because you used the wrong verbiage when referring to a desert war, which wasn't even the fucking, like, point of the video. This wasn't a video about Israel or Palestine. It was about Ethan, but you mentioned it once and you said the wrong verb. You said war instead of genocide, and then they attacked you. Like, after that, the appropriate response from her should have been to make an apology video just like she did. The problem was she apologized to the wrong people. She should have apologized to Ethan. She should have just immediately jumped ship. I guarantee you Ethan would have welcomed her with open arms, brought her on the podcast to sing her praises, and they could have embarrassed Hassan together, and she would have had instant access to a new audience. If clout chasing was what she wanted to do, that would have been the play.
You should just jump ship.
Yep, that would have been the play, because she would have had the perfect... Ethan would have definitely had her on, and she would have been the perfect story for Ethan to make an example of, because she's a story of someone who was all in on their side, and then they devoured her for saying one word wrong. She would have been the perfect example for how crazy these people are and how they're not your friends. She could have been a cautionary tale to everyone who's buying into their bullshit. Ethan would have jumped all over that. But instead, she doubled down, and now she's arguing with Ethan, and Ethan is, debating her and calling her on all these crazy allegations she's made, some of which I kind of crashed out on last night because they're absolutely just insane. And she's the kind of person I would get very frustrated debating. So props to Ethan where props are due, because he is way more patient with this chick than I would have been. She's super dismissive. She'll agree with you, but not admit she's wrong at the same time.
Basically playing Ring Around the Rosie. Almost.
It's super frustrating, because you'll call her out on something, and she'll agree with you and tell you you're right. But then she won't admit that she's wrong. She won't apologize, and she'll keep arguing the thing that she just agreed you were right about. So it feels like you're talking to a wall. And she's super dismissive, because you'll go to make a point or something, and then she'll just be like,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Oh my God, it's so fucking infuriating. So we're going to pick up where we left off on that. I'm hoping YouTube remembered my spot, because I did not write down a timestamp for that. I'll just go back to my history here. I'll pull that up.
So sort of like talking to a brand new coworker.
I don't even know if it's like talking to a brand new coworker. I think it's like talking to a robot. It's like trying to have a conversation with Alexa. She's actually listening to you. She's just going to pick up on keywords,
Speaking of the whole talking to the robot thing, you ever go back to talking to the AI to see if their stance has changed?
Yeah, it's like doing that. I'll go back to it again eventually. I'm waiting for it to get an update or something. Because I kind of got bored talking to the AI because their answers kind of became predictable and it's so censored that the AI never really gives you an answer. It just kind of always kind of gives that Fence City kind of approach to answering questions, where it tries to play it safe. It doesn't want to offend anyone, which makes it really boring for content. So I was like, I'll go back to this.
Yeah.
I'm either going to wait for them to update it so that it has more information it can give, or wait until they break it so that it starts like not being safe. Like when Grok turned into Hitler for a week. Like when
I remember
when Grok on Twitter started referring to himself as Mecha Hitler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because he just broke.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it starts doing shit like that, yes, I'm gonna go talk to it to see what crazy shit I can make it say. But right now, it's just like boring because you can't make it say anything crazy, and it doesn't give you any actual answers to anything that's controversial. Like the only thing you can use it for now is like tutorials on how to do stuff, basically, and it's like it's educational for that shit. If you're like, hey, how do I do this in After Effects, and it'll give you all the information. Yeah, like it'll walk you through how to do things. It'll teach you shit, but you can't have an actual like conversation with it.
Speaking of some dumb, useless information, did you know if you eat 10,000, what was it, 48,000 bananas in 10 minutes, you would die of radiation poisoning?
That wouldn't you explode first? I don't think it's physically possible to fit 48,000 bananas into your body. Like even if you're like super fat, that's
over 10 minutes. 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes, you would die of radiation poisoning because of how much.
Do you know what 40,000 bananas looks like?
A pile of 40,000 bananas.
I mean, do you know how big that is?
I don't think it's physically possible to eat
40,000 it's not physically
bananas.
Possible to eat 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes. I mean, it's a fun factoid that you would get radiation poisoning, but if you're attempting to eat 40,000 bananas in 10 minutes, I think radiation's the least of your worries. That's... now, I wonder, does that apply... Somebody test this. We need to feed 40,000 bananas to an elephant. Because an elephant could probably do it. Like, you could probably get an elephant to eat 40,000 bananas. Or like a whale. Just like put 40,000 bananas in like a net and wave it in front of a whale so he'll just suck it up and see if he gets radiation poisoning. Why do you know this, by the way? Where did you get this information?
Science class.
What are they teaching in school now?
This is back in high school when we were doing the atomic table and everything. The other thing we were learning about uranium. Kind of find out that potassium has radiation in it.
Yeah, that's a weird way to teach that, but I guess it worked because it stuck with you. So I mean, I guess you learned something. All right, let me get let me get this thrown up in the Discord so you guys can not have to react on a delay here. All right, there you go.
Is that why my shit glows green when I eat bananas?
Oh, mine only does that if I drink a lot of Monster Energy. And I think that Monster Energy might be radioactive. It glows in the dark. All right, you boys ready? We're picking up where we left off. So, last time on Dragon Ball Z, she had
this girl's like honestly the dumbest YouTuber I've ever known.
She's definitely making a name for herself here. Holy shit! So yeah, last time
like the worst first impression you could possibly make.
So in the first video, I'm trying to remember where we left off because I just finished editing that. I haven't uploaded to the channel. I'm gonna start the upload after I stop streaming tonight, and then I can finalize it before I go to work in the morning. So that should be up first thing in the morning, and then I'll get the second half that we're reacting to right now up on the channel tomorrow night, so they'll both be there. But the last thing I remember her arguing about with them was they was arguing over the age of Ethan's Reddit account. And I remember freaking out about that because she said, I thought trolls were like a thing on the internet a long time ago. And I'm like, it's a 15-year-old Reddit account. How much older does it need to be?
Yeah.
Like,
hell, there's still trolls on the fucking Reddit.
Okay, like first of all, like, just hold on. I'll Google this real quick because I didn't at the time.
Usually the brand new accounts are usually the trolls.
Reddit launched.
Wasn't it like 2005?
2005. It went public. It went public in 2006. Didn't gain relevance and become independent.
Yeah,
so it didn't become
initial launch June 2005.
Yeah, initial launch was 2005, but it didn't go. It didn't become a public website until 2006. According to the Wikipedia. So it was done as like a private thing in 2005 in Virginia with a bunch of roommates. So it was like a university thing at University of Virginia. So it was like Facebook. Like when Facebook first launched, you had to be a college student to sign up for it. It was just for college kids. And then it became open to the public, and then it gained relevance. So it went open to the public in 2006, in October 2006, but did not become independent and actually become the Reddit we know it as now until 2011. So I don't think people could sign up for accounts and shit until 2011 when it went independent. Like it was still kind of like Facebook. It was a college thing up until 2011. So assuming that,
apparently you can buy stocks in Reddit now.
Yeah, it went public.
Yeah, in 24.
Yeah, it was founded in 2005, but it didn't go public until until 2011. Like, even if we say like when it became a thing was 2005, even if we go back to its inception date, 15 years. Reddit's only 20 years old. Like, how much older does how much older? Well, it's a little over. It's 21 years old. How much older would Ethan's account have to be for her to be like it's old enough to be a troll account, for her to believe it's a troll account?
Negative 14 years.
Because he made it in like 2010, which would line up with when Reddit became the message board we know now, when it became the quote-unquote front page of the internet. Because for the first 5 years, according to its Wikipedia, it was just kind of a private message board type thing. It was more like a regular forum you'd find on, anywhere else on the internet. It didn't become the front page of the internet with subreddits and all the stuff that we know it as now until 2011, which is when Ethan made his account. Like, how much older would his account need to be before you're like, yeah, I believe it's a troll account? Plus, bitch, troll is in the fucking name. This is the worst excuse ever. But anyway, that's where we were at with this conversation, was just her absolutely dog shit excuses. So let's pick up where we left off and let us continue. All right. Here we go.
A lot of the video was, talking about how, you guys are sort of legacy YouTubers, I think that's a good way to describe it.
So they're not old enough to be internet trolls that she would take seriously as trolls, but they're old enough to be legacy YouTubers.
That makes...
Okay.
What?
Sure. This is the mental gymnastics that she's going to do to make things Ethan's fault. Unbelievable, dude.
And so, essentially seeing a lot of, the issues that I talk about kind of be brought up in terms of like, criticism against you both is just something that, I talk about in the video because of that reason. But I don't know. Are you guys freaking on the same level as family channels? No. do you guys exploit your children in that same level?
I mean, she's saying this shit now, but she painted them as if, because you say, no, you're not on the same level as family channels. And she's referencing like Daddy05, who actually went to jail for abusing his kids on camera on his YouTube channel. Like you're comparing them to channels that actually abuse their kids on camera, and we all saw it happen. That hasn't happened on Ethan's channel ever. But you guys have called CPS on him, so clearly you think that they're the same. You've put them into the same boat. That's the picture you were painting with your accusation. No, she didn't come out and say it. That's the frustrating thing with these people, is they don't come out and say it, because then you could sue them. So they say it without
they walk
saying
that line.
Yeah, they say it without saying it. It's all very indirect. It's all implied, but it's very clear from the picture they're painting what they think, and more importantly, what they want their audience to think. And it worked, because no one, that's Denham's whole like argument in defense, is that she didn't tell her audience to call CPS on Ethan's kids when she was, insinuating that his house might be covered in dog shit. When she was reacting to that video, she didn't tell them to call, but when her audience started chanting, call CPS in chat, she also didn't tell them not to, which is Ethan's argument against them in court, which I think is a pretty solid argument.
Yeah.
There are times when your inaction is just as dangerous as the action itself. Like you have a responsibility. The act of doing, if you choose not to act, you still have made a choice, as the old saying goes. And that's the line that she's walking here, where she's not accusing him of being like
still an action.
Yeah, she's not accusing him of being like the abusive family channels. But all of the things that, we can say about those abusive channels, we can say about Ethan. So you do the math. He did have CPS called on him. That's interesting. Yeah, she kept using the term interesting. Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, well, what's interesting about it? The fact that, all of the bad things that happened to those families is happening to Ethan, so they must be the same. Yeah, it's clear what you're implying. Fuck this bitch. I hate people like this.
No, I think that would be hyperbolic.
I don't think we exploit our children at all. I mean, their appearances on our and our content has been minuscule. I mean, it's just, to the same level as even I'll say.
Yeah, I think their kids have been on their podcast one time since he started doing the podcast, and that one time was for about 3 seconds. So to say he's exploiting, because she paints the picture as if he's exploiting his kids on his podcast. That's why she makes the comparison to the family channels. Those family channels were about the kids. Every video involved the kids. The entirety of their content was centered around their children and their relationship with them. Whereas Ethan had his kids on stream, not even his kids, one of the kids on stream for about 3 seconds. The kid
he's had him on. He's had him on multiple times, but it's pretty rare.
Yeah, and I think all the times I've ever seen them, it hasn't been to make content with the children. It's just the children are getting back from a trip or something, and they want to come say hey to daddy while he's streaming. Yeah, and they just walk in the door to say hey and be like, I'm back, I'm home, I'm back from grandma's house, or whatever it is they're doing. They walk in and say hey. He takes a quick break from his stream to say hey to his children, and then he goes back to doing his podcast. He doesn't make the kids the content. And that's the distinction there that she's not making.
You can probably count it on one hand the amount of times.
Yeah, and they've all been times where they were really wanting to be involved. Or I'll tell you a large reason. You showed an image of Teddy coming up to me on the podcast. And the reason, at first I was like, no, don't come on. That's how I started. But I felt like it was creating a weird
Yeah, it would be weird if he didn't let him on at that point. Like, it would be weird to not have your kid on. Like, the kid kind of put him in a position where if he doesn't let the kid on, then it looks weird. But if he lets the kid on, then freaks like this bitch are going to try to say that he's turning his kids into content. So, like, there was no winning. And at this point, you don't want to hurt your kids' feelings.
He's in a catch-22.
Yeah, and at that point, you don't want to hurt your kids' feelings. So, yeah, you let the kid on. Because at the end of the day, like, you want your kid happy and you just take the risk. You just take the hit. So he didn't really have a choice. I'd have done the same thing. Like, I'm not saying I would never put my kids on stream. I have, like, my kids have put me in that position before where I don't want to stream with my kids. I don't want to make my kids into content. But they've sometimes just walked on stream while I'm streaming, and daughter wants to play a quick game of Fortnite or something and puts me in a position where, well, if I say no, I look like a bad dad on stream now. But if I say yes, now I'm streaming with my kid. Which then people are going to say I'm turning my kid into content, or, you know, like, I open myself up to that. So, you know, I mean, they're kids. They don't understand. Like, sometimes that's going to happen.
I didn't want him to...
But she's not going to understand that, and none of these snarkers are going to understand that because they're all childless. And God willing, they will stay that way.
Feel like there was some weird thing about, and that he was doing something wrong by wanting to come up and say hi to me, or just there was like a very strange boundary there that wouldn't make a lot of sense to a kid. So instead, I decided on for their benefit to treat it more natural. Like, if they're here in the studio and they want to come say hi, I let them do it.
Yeah, you don't want to you don't want to make it weird for the kid. So you treat it as routine. Sure.
At a weird, awkward thing where they are confused and they feel like they did something wrong. You know what I mean? Yep. So that was a conscious decision as a parent to do what I thought was in their interest.
I mean, obviously, I'm lucky where, you know, I make edited content. There's been a time where, you know, my child was about to go to bed and wanted...
Oh my God, she's not childless. How can you make these accusations and say the things that you're saying if you have children? Like, no parent I know would look at the interaction he's had with his kids on stream and see any form of red flag. Everything looked normal. That just looks like he's having a normal interaction with his kid. You would see a sweet moment between a parent and child.
Spending a little time with this kid. Get the fuck over
just what the fuck? Oh shit, fuck her, dude. Fuck this chick so much. Yeah, what you did was malicious, intentionally so. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt by saying you're childless, but now it's very clear that you have children, you know there was nothing wrong with what you just saw, and you've now weaponized his children against him. Maybe somebody should call CPS on your fucking kids.
To say goodnight and, you know, went to say goodnight, and then I was able to edit that out of a video because, you know, I was in the middle of filming. At the same time, you know, I'll be completely honest, 100% honest about my personal opinion on this. You know, because I make commentary on a lot of family channels, and I've seen a lot of fucked up shit where people use their children for, you know, people, you know, there's a lot of creepy people on the internet, you know.
Yeah, but how does then any of that creepy fucked up shit you've seen compared to what you saw with Ethan? Because by putting them both in the same breath, you're making them sound equal when you know they're not. That's the point he's making. And I think you know that. I think what you did was intentional now.
Anyone can see your children, you know, so that's one aspect of why I care a lot about, you know, children not being seen online. I also think that, you know, until children are of age, they just, you know, don't have the cognizant ability to really consent to what's being shown or produced of them. Anyone, you know, can take a clip of that. And,
do you work
know,
with
as has been said. Sorry, what?
Sorry to cut you off. Do you work with this person, Content Crash Out?
No.
Because you use this clip from their page.
Hassan Piker has lost all of his marbles. The Mueller bros
so it was
are gone, people.
Okay.
And you actually, I saw you left a comment saying that this person was a good, reputable source. Have you seen their content? Do you know how deranged and anti-Semitic and obsessive and concerning it is? Like, they're probably one of the...
She definitely has not. She saw one clip she liked, and she did no further research. Like, we've already seen that in the first half of it that we watched yesterday. She knows that JonTron said something bad, but she couldn't name one bad thing he said. She didn't
has
bother
like
to
no
watch
opinions on anything. It's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sad.
because she doesn't watch any of the content. She's sourcing her clips from H3 Snark. She saw a clip on Snark and rolled with it. She didn't go look up the context of the clip. She didn't go source where it came from. And that's what he's calling out here. Like, you didn't go look at any of the creators they're getting these clips from or what they're even talking about. You just saw a clip that made me look bad and you rolled with it. And now you've accidentally platformed or agreed with a Nazi. Whoops.
Most deranged, concerning, obsessed snarkers.
It's really annoying.
In the game right now. And you co-signing that is really, really, really not cool.
He's still being super, super charitable and not just calling her out directly. He's still trying to say it in a nice way. Oh, God, I want him to stop pulling the punches, man. Just go all in.
I can show you their content if you haven't reviewed it. It's
please
deranged.
Do. Okay.
Would you like to see it? I mean,
yeah, sure. I mean, because
she tried to be dismissive,
to be honest, me making a general statement right now about another person's page, I just can't really.
By the way, here's the so this is the video
Hassan
you used.
Piker has lost all.
If you go to the comments, you'll see he's so far gone. Yikes, what's happening? Did he dye his hair? Yeah, obviously that was for a bit. I have a very obvious drug addiction, right? I watched this man for...
Oh, so this isn't even H3 Snark. These are just like the audience on this guy's TikTok page and how they comment on things.
5 years, and John Mulvaney fan, who, by the way, was, I think, an alcoholic, or I don't know what, he had a drug addiction. But if you look through this, the obvious insinuation is that I'm on drugs. So to include this clip, again, is to accuse me of taking drugs.
Because of his tics.
I do think that is
because of a neurological disorder that I don't have control over.
That manifests in sniffing sometimes, or different clearing the throat, whatever it is.
I'll also say, before this snarking phenomenon, I went my whole life with people being super understanding and caring, and like never weaponizing that or making me feel other for that, until I met these snarkers who now have used it, including Anissa and this guy here especially, who have used it as a point of criticism. My neurological disorder I was born with that I can't control.
How dare you have Tourette's, fucking freak.
That has been a huge obstacle in my life. Sitting in front of a camera with this is participating in the weaponization of a truly debilitating neurological disorder I've got, right? And I have never been the victim of this. I would never even, imagine of accusing someone of being ableist when it comes to me. But you truly are participating in an ableist harassment campaign that presupposes that my uncontrollable neurological disorder, Tourette's, is the result of drug abuse.
I mean, first I want to say I'm really sorry about that. That
I think it's the first apology we've had. What is she actually apologizing for?
Sorry,
Hold on.
Tourette's.
Hold on. Yeah, is she apologizing he has Tourette's, or is she taking accountability for something? Let's back up. How did she start that? Before I give her credit for an apology, what exactly is she apologizing for right now?
I mean, first I want to say I'm really sorry about that. That people have been weaponizing that, and that you feel that way.
Oh, she's sorry other people were attacking him. So she's still not sorry for anything she did. She's sorry that other people did that. She's trying to say that she didn't. Okay. Never mind. Thought she was going to be taking accountability for a second there. The fuck was I thinking?
Her hope about this video is that she's making a video about what the internet thinks. So apparently none of these opinions are hers.
Oh yeah. She's just displaying other people's opinions. But it's okay because she told you they're other people's opinions. Which, you know what? I'd almost give you a pass on if you're documenting crazy stuff for the purpose of pointing out the fact that this stuff is crazy. But that's not what you did. You didn't put this stuff on display and go, I can't believe the things people say online with no evidence and blah, blah. And you were trying to like make this cool warning video to the rest of the world that, hey, crazy groups like this that will attack people exist and look at how crazy they are. You just said a bunch of shit that crazy people say and made it sound normal. You didn't point out the fact that it's crazy or inaccurate or wrong, which means you agreed with it. And now you're hiding behind it as other people's words as if that makes a difference. It doesn't. It's so fucking disingenuous. I hate this bitch, man.
You weaponize
anarchist. He makes those type of videos, and it's clear which side is crazy. Like, she just was pushing an agenda for sure.
Oh yeah, she's definitely pushing an agenda. Like a good example of someone like, if you're gonna do that and you're not gonna say which side is crazy and you're just gonna show the comments, a good example of that is the Internet Versus channel. Because all he does is read comments. He doesn't insert his opinion into it. He doesn't tell you what's crazy or not. The difference with him and what she's done is he'll read a bunch of comments from one side of an argument and then read a bunch of comments from the other side. He leaves it up to the viewer to determine who's right and who's wrong and what's crazy and what's not. She only showed one side. And now she's trying to hide behind it as someone else's opinion. That's not the way that works. This bitch, man. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's just too cowardly to own up to it, which I think is the part that's irritating me the most.
But I do want to ask, do you think, and this is, I guess, where I do feel like sometimes the use of this idea that using from one source could be essentially a thought terminating cliche. I want to ask, do you think that me using a clip from something is co-signing whatever is on that clip?
Well, it depends, right?
Comments, all of the, you know what I mean?
It depends
like,
what's in the clip.
Sometimes I could be using that
using
clip
unedited footage
for different context.
or are using a clip?
Yeah, it depends on how the footage is presented. And she's acting like it doesn't matter how it's presented. Showing it in any context is the same as, just showing. Yeah, like just showing it is all that matters. People should understand that it's not my opinion because I showed it. And that's not how that works. And I don't believe she's this ignorant either. I think she knew exactly what she was doing.
It has a clear editorial perspective. Because if you are using a clip with a clear editorial perspective, then you're obviously co-signing the footage if you're not correcting it, right? If you're just like, you can source from Snark. There's nothing inherently wrong with that, right?
Because what I've tried to say through the video is this is what online commentary is. Is that, does that mean I'm co-signing that online commentary automatically if I do that?
If you don't,
and the way you use that,
go on to add another opinion of your own, like
yes, if you don't give the counter argument to it, so you're showing both sides, or you don't explain what you're showing and you just show the footage wholesale with no explanation, then yes, you are agreeing with it. That's exactly what that means.
Like, this is what people are saying, but of course it is baseless, or people are throwing crazy accusations.
You need to explain to people watching the video what you're showing them, because you're showing them this thing without any context, so they're going to take it at face value. You're giving it to them at face value, that's how they're going to take it. And if what's in it is inaccurate or baseless or lacks evidence, and you didn't say that, then what you've done is malicious, or at the very least, it's neglect of almost criminal levels.
Did co-sign it literally in the video.
In fact, I'm sure there's like a criminal thing associated with being that level of neglectful, but I don't know what it's called.
It's called criminal negligence.
Well, I mean, when it comes to defamation or civil suit, I think there's a special name for it, but I don't know what it would be called. But yeah, basically, it's the same. It's the same concept. It's a reckless disregard for the truth. There it is. That's the phrase I was looking for.
You did. Literally. In the setup to that clip, you literally co-signed it.
If you just use it without any critical explanation, then yes, you are.
Like, imagine
Depends how you use it.
I'm going to use something really hyperbolic, right? So forgive me, and I'm not accusing of this, but imagine if I wanted to make a point about socialism and nationalism, and I really wanted to impart the importance of that. And in doing so, I pulled up a clip of Adolf Hitler. And again, pardon the extremity of it, but I don't criticize it. I just go, this is a great commentary from Adolf Hitler about the need for social cohesion.
Look, man, I mean, Hitler was a bad dude. He did a lot of bad things, but he has some good ideas.
Cohesion and national.
I'm kidding. Before you clip me out of context, I'm kidding.
And socialism, and I think that we can all draw from. And I don't give any, and I'm just like, here's Hitler, right? He's making a great point. I mean, clearly, people would see that as a clear endorsement of Adolf Hitler, right? You wouldn't be like, you know, hey, I didn't endorse the guy. Like it would clearly be an endorsement of Adolf Hitler for me to
but again, it's, you know, as opposed to, I can't use that same example, but
she's waffling so hard right now. How do I not agree with you while not sounding like I like Hitler? Just disavow Hitler. How hard is this, Trump? God damn.
I'm trying to think of a similar example to use because but you know, if it's someone has said this, here's a clip of this being said, or people became concerned of this behavior, this type of behavior, here's a clip of this. You know what I mean? It's not the same as kind of the example that you just said.
But you never inserted.
How is it different? That's the next question you guys should be asking. Explain to me how it's different.
You never insert another opinion or an opposing opinion, so it seems like you're agreeing with it. Your whole video is siding with that one side, even though you're saying that's what the internet is saying.
Again,
you need to ask her about tweets. You need to put it in a language she'll understand. You need to ask her, say, hey, if you looked at someone's Twitter profile right now, and it was just a series of retweets of other people's tweets. They didn't add any commentary of their own. They just kept retweeting other people. Would you think they agreed with all those tweets they're retweeting? Or why would you think they were retweeting that stuff? What does a retweet mean? Because we all know. And that's essentially what she's doing. She's doing the video version of a fucking retweet.
There's many on the internet that are saying the other thing, but you're ignoring that. Mm-hmm. So
you showed a clip implying I'm on drugs, and then you didn't say anything else. Like, of course you're co-signing it. Why else are you showing it?
Snark is a minority. Our audience does not think that Ethan is on drugs.
I mean, nobody of sane mind thinks I'm on drugs.
I don't think you're on drugs either. But
again, but you didn't say that. That's the problem. You didn't say it. You didn't clarify. You had that opinion, and you kept it to your fucking self.
You're conveying to your audience that I am maybe on drugs by using that clip.
The point of the video is to show the sort of essentially.
I think she does think he's on drugs. She's just too cowardly to own that opinion. So she just displays it in a way that lets her audience come to the conclusion. And then if she gets called on it, she can say, well, my audience came to that conclusion all by themselves. I didn't. I mean, I just gave them the information. I don't agree with my audience. Yeah, like she'll even throw her own audience under the bus the same way she threw her editor under the bus, the same way she threw her scriptwriter under the bus.
I think your editors fucked her over, to be honest.
I hope so. I fucking hope so. I would respect their editors more if this was a big fuck you to her on their way out the fucking door. Like, that would be epic and deserved.
Really, your reaction, the online reaction. I think where I went wrong, is I think that I could have dove further into that.
You said initially you didn't even know why the clip was there.
I think I could have dove further into that, some of the legal, aspects that are going on currently, kind of showing your response, their response, things that are happening. I brushed over that as well, kind of saying that, kind of the very start of that and not further going into that. So I think I should have, gone further into that as well. Essentially,
Make her do it right now. Make her do it right now. Make her go into it right now. Make her state an opinion and say something definitive right now, so that when she gets done with this podcast and she has to go back to her own video and stuff, she'll now have to answer for the opinion she said she had live in front of H3. She then can't walk shit back.
Do it, bro.
Yeah. Put her on the spot. Make her say it now. Make her go into that detail now, because she just said that she opened the door. She said I could go into that detail. Okay, well, do it now. Go into that detail right now. Instead of giving her the chance to make an edited video where she's had time to discuss it with someone or come up with a good little escape plan, a little PR video or whatever she's going to make. Fuck that. Put this bitch on the spot.
My intention was, this is what's happening online,
But you didn't show what's happening in our community.
I should have. Exactly. I should have,
Okay.
I also agree with that too. Especially for that particular section, I do think that there are a lot of times when I include H3 Productions or r/H3 Productions posts, but to essentially show same thing. When I show opinion pieces, I should try to show, especially with something so contentious and divisive as this topic, I should show two sides. But again, also with that idea of there's no way to be unbiased. If I feel like can I put myself in this rabbit hole where I'm just endlessly trying to be unbiased and I'm putting up just you can.
It's not a rabbit hole where you're endlessly trying to be unbiased. Either you are unbiased or you're not. And clearly you are biased. That's why you're struggling to appear non-biased, because you're not. What you're doing is fake. Noticeably so.
Sort of pinhole yourself into where you're trying to provide every single side.
Yeah,
and,
but you didn't even come close. I mean, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Like, you didn't even attempt to show the other side. She's complaining like she has to show everything and she's being held to an impossible standard. But the truth is, you didn't even show like any part of the other side. Like, it's not even close. The bias was very obvious.
You're close to brushing on.
Your words don't match the action. It doesn't. You're saying you're endlessly trying to be unbiased, and you haven't tried once.
Forward.
Yeah. You haven't tried once in this video to be unbiased. It's just the words that you're saying sound great, but the action is
I do think, I don't think that's entirely fair either. I don't think that's entirely fair either with this video. I think that there's many times that I do try and look at your side, and I think that's a mischaracterization. Either
Name one.
You didn't watch the full video, or that's
when did
kind
you,
of.
Do you remember?
Yeah. There you go. Call her on it. What are you referencing? Name a time so we can pull it up right now and see it.
Remember a specific moment in your video where
they need to take nothing she says at her word. Like, they need to fact check everything that comes out of this fucking freak's mouth.
iDubbbz, the iDubbbz situation is is one of the most prominent ones in my mind.
Give details. What do you mean the iDubbbz situation? What about it? Be specific.
I essentially
we can pull
agree
it up.
With your
I'm
points.
curious what that looks like. Can you tell me a specific sentence so we can search?
Ethan's played this game before. Ethan's played this game before. Yeah, he's doing exactly what I said he should do.
The manuscript?
Yeah, I mean,
or just like a word.
I could go off of my
which part
itself.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
Let me know.
What's that?
I had to be at work early.
All right. Well, thanks for popping in, man. Next time you got a day off, let me know. We'll make a night of it.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, later, man.
Let me know when I need to put on the.
You want to put on the lights? You can. You still look fine, but you can put on the lights. You want to? You know what? I really need to pee. If you want to take like a quick break. And
Yeah, she's trying to blame it on her lighting now. Before it was the stain on her chair. Ethan's giving her the out because he's got to go take a piss. Yeah, she all she had to do was give it. And if she had an example, like a really good example off the top of her head, like she was implying she had, she'd have pumped that shit out immediately. Like, I'm talking about this, and then just immediately put him on blast. The fact that she's waffling with specifics and now she's looking for a way to take a break and hopefully get him to move on means that she knows damn well she hasn't mentioned any of that stuff. That she hasn't showed his side, that she hasn't tried to be non-biased. She's just lying.
To adjust the lights or something.
But Ethan's
she brought up the easiest topic too. Like, she brought up iDubbbz. Like, she could have said so many things that's just a slam dunk.
Well, she says the situation with him, but she gave no details. Do you know how many times he's talked about iDubbbz just in the last month alone? Like, fucking entirety of his career, just the last month. Is he 100% accurate?
About the content cop.
I mean, maybe, but who knows? She's not being specific. But she's saying that he said something wrong. I mean, he said a lot of shit in the last month. Maybe he said some shit that was wrong. Maybe he said some shit that was wrong on purpose in order to be funny because he made a lot of jokes. What is she referencing? Who the fuck knows? She's not being specific. And now she's just looking for a way out. Oh, I hate this so much. So, yeah, it's obvious that you're biased. The fact that she's even trying to play this off like she's some kind of non-biased, middle-of-the-road, you know, center lane kind of journalist is ridiculous. It's laughable. Like Taylor Lorenz levels of laughable.
But
maybe she went to the same journalism school as Taylor.
It's journalism, guys.
She sat behind Taylor in journalism school and copied off her paper. Jesus fucking Christ.
But also you look fine too.
Yeah, it's hard for me to tell like what it would look like, but it is, the sun's gonna set in like probably 5 minutes.
So you want to take a moment to turn on the lights and I'll run to the bathroom?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great. I'll be right back. Thank you. Again.
She's the only snarker to get laid. Well, at least now we know definitively that getting laid or having children won't make them better people. This shit's baked in.
About this specific account,
oh, shit.
Content crash out, you said, I appreciate you. As you probably know, I've been following your page and sourced from you. I believe mostly the Palestine and Downward Spiral chapters. Appreciate your coverage greatly, you said. Now, this person is singularly obsessed with me and Hila, and specifically about my Jewishness. And like deranged conspiracy theories of the most obscene order. So
okay, yeah, so now they're going on to this other person's account. Yeah, so she got away with it. Her little break worked. She got away with it. She now doesn't have to give that specific he was pressing her for. Oh, God, I hate that these little tactics of theirs work, too. Shit drives me insane.
So
yeah, I mean,
do you agree? So you follow this person closely?
I mean, they're going back to this, though, to make her say whether or not she agrees with this account that she referenced so hard in her video. And it's very clear that she doesn't know what was on the account because she's seeing it for the first time here. And it looks terrible.
So I would say that, again, the videos that I sourced from them were not, you know, again, I can't speak to, you know, what you feel like are really offensive videos. Sorry, not to say what you feel like, but I feel like, you know, again, I haven't seen all of their videos to know.
Okay. I just confusing because you said I've been following.
Yeah, just show her some of them right now. Just show her some examples. You don't have to watch them all. You just need to watch enough to get a feel for the kind of creator you're platforming here.
Your page.
Imagine admitting that you don't research your own research.
Well, we know that she doesn't. She has a research team. And obviously this isn't even her fault. It's their fault for not researching it. Because that's where this is going to go. She's going to throw them under the bus again. Right now she hasn't. She's just saying, well, I didn't see them all. And then if he shows her something really bad, then she's just going to go, well, my research team should have caught that. So I assumed my research team knew what they were showing. Yeah. And then she's just going to throw her employees under the bus again. Oh my God, dude. I can hate this chick. All of her arguments boil down to I'm bad at my job. And somehow still gets to keep her job. Must be nice. If I had excuses this bad at work and I did a job this poor, I'd lose both my jobs.
Yeah. I guess, I mean, so, yeah, sure. Maybe you didn't see all their videos by that logic.
Yeah, like the reason why I said that is I feel like on TikTok you can probably see when a creator like saves a video, you know? So I just felt like they could probably see that, you know?
So you saved the video, though. You said the editor put it in.
Damn.
The one that again I wasn't sure about the zoom in whether that came from
that was in their video.
An editor
that was from the one you downloaded.
It's identical. It's from this video.
Yeah, no, exactly. So what I was going to say is I wasn't sure if that came from an editor, but now looking at it, it's clear it came from this page itself. So what probably happened is, again, I added a timestamp. It's okay. Added a timestamp into my script. You know, from that I saved it, added it in. So yeah, it was.
Is this where you heard that Hila called babies terrorists? Because this person also
taught at 2 years old to kill Americans.
They made this.
So again,
are taught to kill us at 2 years old.
That's pretty spicy.
Yeah. Do we have that one?
Like Kamala. That's not really a fair edit.
To be completely and totally honest, there was multiple pages and sources that have shown that clip.
Yeah, I believe that.
Multiple sources. You know, and that's where it's hard. Again, going to the original source. You know, because
do you see how many videos?
So what is the original source? Name it. Since you're saying this is one of many sources, but this is the one you chose, though. I mean, if you had many sources for this clip, why did you choose this one? Like, all of her excuses just are like the weakest form of an excuse. And he's just still treating her with kids' gloves, too. It's annoying. Fuck this bitch.
Videos this person's made about me? Does this look healthy? Honestly, if you're sourcing from them,
Yeah, like their entire account is fucking Ethan. Oh, and you're using AI to make him look like a zombie or look bloody or look... And you're fucking clipping Taylor Lorenz on top of it. Just... Yeah, this looks terrible.
I'm concerned. Like literally, can you see all these?
Specifically that video that you saved and included in your video, just like scroll through the comments. All the comments are about how Ethan is a drug addict, and specifically that zoom on that.
Yeah, do literally any research. 2 minutes worth of research. Just literally any.
Tattoos, there are comments about it. Is that from scratches? Is that from injections of drugs? Like, that is in the comments. So, but it's interesting to me that you chose to save that video and include it.
Oh, this one they're calling Hila a Nazi for getting a Star David tattoo. Watch this one.
That's been going on and what I'm going through, I almost feel like I want to do it the most in-your-face possible way that I can, and I feel like I kind of want to tattoo a blue Star David on my hand.
Blue. Have you showed this on the show that you got the Star David
Not
tattoo?
yet. Today is my first time. The comments were very interesting. We got lots of mixed
100%
reviews.
Fair,
mixed reviews, meaning like
you guys have called me.
Oh, to be fair? Oh, okay. Here we go. Now she's gonna accidentally admit it's malicious. Now here it comes.
A Nazi.
Say what?
To be 100% fair, you guys have called me a Nazi.
Well, we can get into that. If you...
So now she's justifying it, which means it was malicious. She's speaking to her state of mind when she saved and used the clip.
You want to? We can definitely get into. And I mean, one of the reasons that I called you that is something you edited out of the video, which was you said that I was.
But
you said I was you said I was imparted at birth with Israeli ideals and indoctrinated at birth as an American Jew. That's fucking insane. That's like super offensive, deeply anti-Semitic. So obviously, are you a Nazi? No, but like my point was that was an extraordinarily anti-Semitic view to hold. Something that's very popular amongst Nazis, neo-Nazis, American neo-Nazis, etc.
Which I would love to have a conversation about that. As far as this page goes, I think that you know, again, going back to my point of wanting to cover what is the internet saying, you know, but I do think, again, because, you know, funny enough, my neighbor is a journalist and a writer, and we're talking about this.
Neighbors Taylor Lorenz.
Essentially.
There it is.
Yep. Where do you, that would be my next question. Where, you don't have to give me the exact address, but, who's your neighbor? Where do you live? I'm curious now. You don't even have to give me your neighbor's name. Just give me what are her initials?
How online forums, you know, you should stay away from in general, if you want to sort of have, you know, good coverage. So yeah, I think that was a really positive, you know, conversation sort of about this. I do think that, again, it's hard when it comes to covering internet situations, though, because
it's not hard. All you got to do is get the full context of what you're using and add that context to the clip when you show it. That's really all.
Literally so easy because you can pick and choose whatever you want to cover.
This is yeah, and this is the perfect argument for anyone making these kind of videos. Is you can go, no, it's really easy. It's very easy. In fact, it's so easy that the most viewed video essay channel that does your style of content was a literal child when they started. A literal fucking child can do it. Tom was 14 when he started. Turkey Tom's been doing it since he was 14. A literal fucking child can do this.
You can't, you know, she was kind of talking about, as a journalist, how often she goes directly to a source. How does that translate online?
But you didn't reach out to me.
What do you mean, how does that translate? You cite your source the same way it translates to television or any other media where they give information. You're just describing journalism. That thing you're pretending you're LARPing to do. Fuck this chick, man.
We have hours and hours and hours of footage every week. Like,
yeah, but also you didn't reach out to me when you were.
All the sources are on the internet, and as well.
Yeah. Also, you reach out for comment. That's journalism 101. That's the first thing you do. Is you reach out. You go directly to the source, as you said. Where's the source of the thing you're criticizing? Oh, the person himself. If you're going to criticize a person, you go directly for them because you're hoping to fucking snag an interview. That thing you're doing right now that you fell into by accident. You're hoping to do that first. And then if you don't, then you start citing other sources and you make that part of your coverage where you say, we did reach out to so-and-so, but they had no comment. That's okay.
For example, the Trisha fallout, it was all documented. Like pretty much all the stuff you're talking about are stuff that are online available.
But also you didn't reach out to me once during the making of the video.
Again, so as I'm moving forward, but I mean, let's talk about the likelihood of like how likely would you have responded. In the past, I've sort of written it off as like people are not going to respond if I
That doesn't mean you don't still try. Trying and have them refuse to respond just makes you look better. Why would you not at least fucking try? It's the lack of trying that is the problem.
Reach out to them for comment.
So you don't try? I mean,
so
it sounds like when you started talking. It sounds like when you started talking about it that you're doing a video about us. Some of our fans were also your fans, and they even made a post about it. So it's very much doable, actually.
I do think
the word got around.
Yeah, because now you've put Ethan and Gila in a position where they can say whatever they want. Because you can be like, what are the odds that y'all would have said yes? They can just lie. Even if they wouldn't have said yes, they could go, oh, we absolutely would have because we've got some crossover in our fan base. Yeah, like they can say whatever they want now and you've got no way to prove them wrong. You did this to yourself. This is just sheer fucking incompetence. At best, you're incompetent. At worst, you're malicious.
The word got around to
I'm leaning toward the latter.
Our subreddit, which we do check regularly.
I mean, I understand your point, though. I think a lot of creators probably either wouldn't see it or wouldn't respond. So understand what you're. I understand, like in general.
To be honest, though, that is something that I could have done.
And he could respond with, "Hey, what are the odds that we'd have you on our show right now? You know, what were the odds of this happening?
Is reached out to someone for an opinion piece, you know, one-on-one messaging, that kind of thing. You know, that being said, as far as, you know, online opinion pieces, online sort of, you know, edits that are sort of.
Now she's not a journalist. Now they're opinion pieces.
You know, very clearly, you know, opinion based or that kind of thing. I should base my, you know, if I want to include that in the first place, I should sort of base my research all on original sourcing and then sort of go through and add, okay, this person, this online comment feels this way, you know, include that. This person feels this way, include that. That's sort of my conclusion from the matter. You know, I think that's kind of, but that was my intention with that, is showing, you know, online commentary and online clips. A lot of times when I included this person, it's not like, this is what happened. I mean, at least that's what I hope it was. I mean, I can look through and do a, you know, 100% review, but it's like, okay, this is the commentary happening online, so, you know.
I want to finish this because this one, I just want to finish this video, this one here, with the Star David tattoos.
Jessica Klein reposted comparing a keffiyeh to a swastika.
I mean, clearly people were very supportive because it had a lot of likes and it did well on the subreddit.
I don't know what my sister retweeted. I find it weird that they're including what my sister does on social media.
To see people are encouraging, like, you know, not backing down and embracing your identity.
Yeah.
Someone now got a worse tattoo than Ethan. I mean, that's kind of funny. It's also racist.
Can I ask something?
I just want to finish the clip.
Could have gotten this tattoo at any time, but chose to. Yeah, of course. Of course, you get a tattoo when when you feel like you want to express pride in your heritage. Now's the best time to do it. I would absolutely do it too.
The fuck is this?
I don't even.
Branded satellite shows Star David carved into Gaza.
Kind of a different way to do it.
I mean, it's none of your.
Yeah, this is fucking schizo shit, man. This is the account she's referencing? It's literally talking about Jewish space lasers. Look, it used the Jewish space laser to carve the Star of David into Israel. Or Palestine. What the fuck? Into Gaza?
That's the laser that shocked Kaya.
That's the Jewish space taser. The Jewish space laser is for crop circles, obviously. You gotta keep up, man. The fuck is this?
What's that have to do with
your business when I want to do a tattoo of my heritage?
Have you seen this?
What is this?
You could interact with this rake right here.
Oh yeah, I kept getting on my nerves yesterday as I was running from a guy to open that chest, and I hadn't picked up a weapon yet, and he kept knocking me backwards. Wait,
I just noticed
can
that.
You interact with this? Oh, no.
I don't think so.
Okay.
How is that anything that you should even have an opinion on? Yeah, I'm changed after October 7th. That was a really traumatic moment for all of us Jewish people.
Congrats on the tattoo. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, if you go to the comments, I miss when Hila didn't talk, racist, lol. I'm so embarrassed I ever watched them. Being Jewish is not a race. That's, by the way, not true. And also, another Nazi talking point.
They're not an ethnic.
The line's not being straight. I mean, whatever. It was hand-drawn. Everything she goes through equals Vanilla Mace not liking her fashion brand. Hila Klein, please tell us what the blue signifies.
The comments are just as schizo as the videos. Holy fuck, dude. When you find these little pockets, like, you start to... Ethan sounds crazy when he talks about, like, being paranoid over this. Like, he sounds like he's paranoid because he starts talking about these people and all the crazy stuff that they say, and they're like, people aren't that obsessed with you, bro. Like, you start to sound crazy. You start to sound like you're paranoid, and then you show them accounts like this, and they go, oh, fuck. Oh, it's real. They are. There's whole groups of these. Holy fuck, how have you not been murdered yet? These people are insane. You've got whole communities of stalkers. Holy damn.
Even as a fan of them, like, at first I didn't believe that like all the hate that they were getting was like as crazy as it was, but then
yeah, I thought he was exaggerating. Yeah, because you think he's exaggerating for comedic effect or to put on a show and to, you know, make jokes. You think he's exaggerating. But then you look at this shit and you're like, oh no, he was just reading what they typed, like verbatim. Oh my God.
It signifies the color that the Star of David is, like in art, traditionally since like thousands of years. A pentagram would have been more fitting. A pentagram, that's like, you know, the Star of David is like the cross for Jews, right? It's the same type of thing. This person said she should have got a pentagram instead of the Star of David. And then
this chick has no idea what that is. I can tell you from the look on her face, she has no idea what the significance of that is. You're gonna have to explain it to her like she's 5.
And you went on to write on this person's account that you support them and you source them and you're a fan of their work. Do you disavow content crash out?
I mean, again, I don't agree with that particular video.
Our first ever.
You know, but like even someone who's capable of making such a video is clearly deeply unwell. Like to accuse a Jewish person.
Yeah, it's a straight up schizo shit.
Of doing something wrong by getting a Star of David tattoo is just a symptom of someone who's deeply, deeply, deeply unwell. So I just do. I mean, this is not a good person, right? Like, I just. You know, like, can you admit that?
Oh, damn. First time he's put her on the spot
silence.
Here. And the silence is deafening. Our silence means something. Fuck, dude.
I think that...
It should be an immediate yes, I can admit that. Like, there shouldn't be any hesitation here.
In general... You know, I am still learning a lot about anti-Semitism. I've learned a lot within the past few days. You know, speaking on the topic, I feel wildly uncomfortable. I am learning a lot about it.
This person is anti-Semitic, and take it from me.
And she's not like disavowing. This is a non-answer.
As a Jewish person,
even this statement alone is so incredibly frustrating, considering you just made an hours-long video about Ethan and I. We talk about anti-Semitism so much.
It's the reason why
it's
people
the reason why all of this is happening.
Can I offer? So I did like write a little bit of something just because I feel like I don't again want to misspeak or anything on this sort of subject. At least this is coming from my perspective. Sorry, I keep bumping the mic.
Just disavow. How hard is that?
At least for me, like the biggest lesson I learned from all of this is, sorry, I'm gonna kind of read a little bit because I don't want to misspeak at all.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck if you learned anything. I just want you to be honest.
So, if I care about advocating for anyone, whether it's someone, is facing Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, transphobia, homophobia, anything at all, it's to extensively read up on the current state of affairs and what they're currently facing. It's, not just like using a blanket term like stop Islamophobia, don't be anti-Semitic, but so that I can offer in detail understanding of what an individual is currently facing and how that may translate in various ways. The
fuck is this word salad? What the fuck is she going on about? Like, she has gone so far from answering a very simple question. So she agrees with the schizo. That's what this boils down to. Oh my God, dude.
I think that in general, as a content creator, I wanted to, to be completely honest, it's a really intimidating topic to jump in.
I hope he circles back to the original question when she's done with this little tirade she's on.
Into for obvious reasons, all of this, and especially, as we can see with everything that happened after releasing the video, and and just not being versed in it, not having a cultural background or understanding, not not being Palestinian and not being someone who's extensively versed, but wanting very, very deeply to advocate for Palestinians and everything that they're going through. I feel like there's many ways that I misstep along the way. But I think that being able to do that, really, okay, I want to advocate for these people. What are they currently facing today? How can I, really offer in-depth dialogue to that?
Oh, you can fly your ass over there and ask them. Go do some boots on the ground journalism, baby. You're a journalist, right? Go prove it.
So that can kind of combine research.
You could be their white savior. They'll be happy to have you there. I'm sure it'll be fine.
And empathy, I know Dan sort of spoke about how I misuse empathy or sort of, use that as a blanket term. And I think that's maybe one of the ways that I can do that better, instead of just being like at the beginning of the H3 video.
Oh, shit. She's about to learn empathy. How old is she? She's about that age, right?
I think she said 25 or under.
She's not old enough to learn empathy yet. She's still struggling with it. Obviously, she's been misusing empathy. You don't learn that until you're 32, so she's still got a little ways to go. Don't worry, baby. You'll get there.
So, any anti-Semitism will not be tolerated, and speaking about Islamophobia, but not very, very much in-depth understanding how that's translating in modern day currently. So I think that when all of this happened and I made my follow-up video, I was feeling very hurt and confused.
She's just filibustering now.
By, essentially being thrown the label of being anti-Semitic. I think that, of course I can't, a lot of that's coming from my own ignorance and my own lack of depth and knowledge and, not being a Jewish individual. Not growing up in that. I grew up with no religion, no religious background. My dad was raised Jehovah's Witness.
So what I'm gathering is you need Jesus.
My mom was raised strict Catholic, and they both kind of decided to raise me without any religion. I've heard a lot of horror stories from my dad about.
It's a weird choice for someone who was raised strict Catholic. Like your mother was strict Catholic but raised you with no religion. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's please don't be a bot. You're a bot. Okay. That's a weird. It's a weird choice. It's a very weird choice. I'm not sure I buy it. 'Cause my parents weren't strict Catholic, but they obviously made us go to church and still raised us with religion. I'm atheist myself personally, but even I can't keep my kids from religion. I don't try to. I kind of leave it open to, if you got questions, I'll answer them, but I leave them open to be exposed to whatever. But their grandparents can take them to church. It's really hard to make your kids not be exposed to it. I don't know if I buy this. I don't know if I buy that you were raised religion free. I don't even know if that's possible. Even if the parents don't instill it in you, the world around you will. It's okay.
His particular family and his particular upbringing in Jehovah's Witness. And so from that, I also have my own preconceived notions of,
Yeah, also, Jehovah's Witnessism is a cult. We've got one of them in our Discord. Well, he's no longer a witness. He left the church. Got excommunicated for. Yeah, they operate like a cult. I'm not sure you could be a Jehovah's Witness and not. You can't. No, I take it back. You can't be a Jehovah's Witness and not push it. They literally make maps and go on routes, and they have to go door to door to so many houses and try to convert so many people. They have fucking quotas, dude. They plan that shit out. There's no way that your dad was a Jehovah's Witness and your mom was a staunch Catholic. I'm doubting what she's saying here. If what she's saying is true, which I don't believe you, because I don't believe most of what you've said because you've been caught in so many lies. But if what you're saying is true, your situation is extremely unique. I don't buy it. This is all just word salad and a way to excuse her actions. She's now weaponizing her religion.
Just a lot of religions in general.
Jehovah's Witness get onto my property that was gated. I don't even know how they got in.
They're insane and relentless. And I've been to that church because before he left that church, like, he was trying to convert me and I went there with him. And I remember it was in a windowless building. And I remember going in there.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a windowless building. It doesn't look like a church. I went in there. It was called Kingdom Hall. I didn't know what it was. It doesn't say like Jehovah's Witness. It just says Kingdom Hall. It's a windowless building. And you get in there and they bring out a whiteboard and it's got neighborhoods and addresses and they start assigning people routes. And I was like, oh, this is...
Fuck that shit.
What the fuck? Yeah, like it looked like a cult. Like I was like, dude, I think you're in a cult. And he was like, no, I mean, you know, like the Bible says. I was like, did you read that part? Like, does it say that specifically? Because this is insane. This is insane. This is like they treat it like a business. It was like being at a fucking like meeting at work where they're like issuing tasks to people. Like it's
like a sales job or something.
Yeah, it had very much had that vibe to it. It was weird. It did not feel like church. It felt like an obligation. It was just, oh my God. Like, I feel like I'm going to get in trouble or get written up if I don't do this. Holy shit. I'm going to die. Yep.
Which may not be fairly placed all the time.
I was on a zip line and that guy just like 4 shots me. I don't understand how people have to have aim like that. My guns just seem to shoot pea shooters compared to some of these people. Holy shit. Not a zip play again. I don't know. Maybe she's telling the truth, but I would be shocked if like religion didn't play a factor in your childhood if your parents are who you say they are. It feels like she's picking the most extreme versions of things and then trying to make herself out to be the exception to those extreme versions to show how virtuous she is. This all just feels like a way to try to add credibility to the things she's saying and obfuscate further and further away from that original question that Ethan asked her a good 6 minutes ago. like this is she's just rambling at this point.
But yeah, I don't want to speak for others, but I think that there's a lot of people that do want to criticize the Israeli government and their actions, but feel lost on how to do so without being labeled anti-Semitic.
That statement on itself. You said that about me.
And about, in fact, I have the Israeli government.
I had a real.
Yeah, you're guilty of the thing you're now rambling, saying you were trying to avoid, and
issue with that statement.
I mean, is it okay if I finish really quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me finish my obfuscation. I need your audience to know I'm a good person before you show them how bad I did.
Sorry, I know it's kind of long.
You're good. I didn't realize you were. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So, there were a lot of people that there were some really kind people who sent me messages educating me on either side and things that I got wrong on either side of the situation. Which of course it should have been my job to do in the first place, but one thing I learned a lot about is the dual loyalty trope and where it's seen as anti-Semitic to scrutinize someone's connection to Israel. And I can see that because it's a holy place for many Jewish individuals. That being said, I think a lot of people who, at least for me, that was, I don't want to talk about my personal life or anything, but even being around.
After she just went on a tirade about who her parents were and what her upbringing was like, she doesn't want to talk about her personal life.
Jewish individuals, that was not something that was ever told to me or taught to me. Not that, again, that is anyone's job to teach anything to me, but so again, trying to navigate this current climate and trying to sort of raise awareness, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide. I unknowingly bumped up against that and, again, spoke about that in a wrong way. If I was aware of that, I would have never spoke about that just because I care about, not being anti-Semitic and I care about that, I don't know about
That's good.
Others, but I do think that there's a lot of people who are pro-Palestine, who are kind of maybe in the same boat as me, who aren't aware of that, and then are being kind of being told that they're anti-Semitism and maybe put on the defense because of that, and aren't aware that there's that particular nuance to this conversation, maybe.
Well, one side clearly gets a lot more defense and explanation online than the other.
See, she's a victim too. She was a victim of this very thing, Ethan. So you guys are like birds of a feather here. Watch out, I got him on me.
But specifically, I'm going to play this clip because I felt the way that you said this was interesting.
Sorry. I am most hurt about the claims of anti-Semitism. As I've mentioned time and time again, I'm just not well versed in politics.
Oh my God, she's gonna ult.
About it.
She's gonna ult. She's gonna cry. I knew it. Yes! Fucking yes! The Snarkers always cry when they're backed into a corner. She's ulting.
Would really like to understand how one can be pro-Palestine, speak about the disagreements they have with the Israeli government, and still not be seen as anti-Semitic.
No, I called you anti-Semitic.
He could not give less of a shit. He's eating a snack while she's crying. He could not give less of a fuck. She is crying. He's like, let me tell you, I don't care. And the worst part is, like, these are fucking crocodile tears because she's crying on his behalf. I don't understand how people can call anti-Semitic because I was in the Palestine. No one's buying this shit, bitch. No one. Golf. What a piece of shit.
One very specific statement you made. It had nothing to do with Israel.
And look at how quickly she turned it off as soon as she realized he didn't give a fuck.
Nothing. You conjuring that image to people, it's really fucked up. Because people use it. But hold on, there's more.
The ways in which Ethan talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible. A lot of that
you say
likely due to October 7th, and essentially Ethan having an intense cognitive dissonance.
Reminder, she started this off by saying, I'm way out of my depth with this.
Yeah.
So I shouldn't have.
I'm very curious to hear this.
Now she's going to lecture me, right, about my reaction.
Yeah.
To October 7th.
You know, him being, living in Israel, upholding these, Israeli values.
What are they?
Israeli values. Go on.
And ideals
that have been instilled in him since birth. Wait, are they watching the version that had that line? Because she went back and cut that line out of the video. So she knows that what she's saying is wrong, and now she's it's all backfiring in glorious fashion. She's not crying because she feels bad. She's crying because she got caught.
that have been sort of programmed into him from when he was born.
Okay, you're Nazi.
When he was
you're
born?
Like a fucking.
He
You're
wasn't
like
born in
I first of all, I'll.
No, stand by it. She is a Nazi. Fuck her.
I don't think you're a Nazi, right? I'll amend that.
I do.
Because I was being hyperbolic. What I meant is you're saying stuff that Nazis say. And obviously, I also fully acknowledge that you don't know.
I like how he subtly used her logic against her there. It's like, you're just saying things that they say, but I don't believe that you're them. See, just like she's not agreeing with the stuff she puts in her videos. She's just like showing things that other people say.
That what you're saying is anti-Semitic, right? Like, totally agree with you there. And I know you already addressed this stuff. You kind of already rolled this stuff back, which is good. The part that I wanted to ask you about.
Talks about the issues, he makes it seem like that's not possible.
How did I make it seem not possible to talk about Israel without being accused of being anti-Semitic? Because I never one time brought up anything being anti-Israel being an issue. The only thing I brought up is that statement you just saw, which had nothing to do with Israel. So, like, why even say that? Because that, you know, that's an extremely popular trope that you'll hear, is that you Jews are like perpetual victims, and they call you anti-Semitic for any old reason, no matter what. I criticize Israel, they call me anti-Semitic. That I'm constantly seeing Jewish voices being marginalized for saying that, right? But here's the interesting thing is, I didn't even come close to saying anything like that, and you still said it.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think I watched the full live and genuinely was trying to understand, okay, where did I go wrong? You know,
you failed. Again, you could have just asked him. You could have just reached out.
Like what was, you know, anti-Semitic. And I don't, again, it's not necessarily your job to educate me, but I was, you know, trying to understand how can I, you know, criticize Israel, you know, be pro-Palestine, speak about the genocide, and
it's not that complicated though, is it? It's really
no,
not.
It's not.
I guess, and I would like to hear your perspective.
I think
again, like I said, I did, you know, receive some, you know, to be honest, I received after that live mass comments, messages. Sorry, I fucking hate when I get emotional.
You can take a moment. It's okay. It's emotional.
Yes.
I understand you care about being on the right side of things, right? So I 100%. You know.
He is laughing internally right now. Yes. He knows he's won. Which, to be fair, easy victory, but still satisfying nonetheless.
No, I understand, and I know this is painful.
Mass amount of people calling me a Nazi.
Dude, we've got the full bingo card if she does the same thing the Snarker did when I made him cry. If she accuses him of being able to shoot laser beams out of his eyes, we've won.
See, and
that's not true, by the way, and I don't want people to call her a Nazi. Okay.
And so, you know, I was trying to understand what. Sorry, I fucking hate when I cry. I'm not.
Stop ulting. Stop crying before Miskiff puts his hands down your pants. You're sending mixed signals, bitch. Stop.
Miskiff's gonna pop out of the ground like a Diglett.
He's gonna be like, she's good to go. She's good to go. Look at those tears. She's wet.
Look how wet she is.
I'm not trying to like.
It's fine. No, I know. I it's sincere. I'm.
It's fine. We're all just people here, and.
And so, you know, like,
yeah.
Genuinely, here.
Miskiff is watching this with a raging heart on right now.
I'm acknowledging, like, I'm not you know, I'm trying to, you know, be more educated, grow, you know, I'm starting from ground zero, and I think, you know, I'm hoping that a lot of, at the very least, a lot of content creators can learn from my mistakes, you know, when speaking about
the mistakes you haven't admitted to or owned up to or apologized for yet. You haven't even learned from these mistakes. You're just mad you got caught.
This and be able.
Why did she do this interview? Why? I mean, I'm so glad she did, but why? What was the thought process here? Really, bitch.
To, you know, be pro-Palestine, talk about the genocide, and not be anti-Semitic. And how do you not, you know, run into that? Coming from an ignorant place of someone who's, you know, not Jewish and didn't know about these things. And so, you know, essentially, genuinely, I had so many messages calling me a Nazi, calling me anti-Semitic, but no one telling me.
You know you can just block people on the internet, right? Like, you don't have to read those messages. They don't mean anything. I'll never understand online bullying and shit when you can just hit a block button. Like, am I the only one that, like, doesn't get fazed by that shit? Like, you can fill my inbox with death threats and all the bullshit you want. I ain't gonna read it. Like, I'm just gonna ignore you. Shit don't faze me. It's ridiculous.
Why?
All these chronically even online idiots.
Yeah, just, oh my god, it's not real life. Just fucking turn it off. None of this shit's real. It doesn't matter. Oh, cool. You can sit on the Simpsons couch.
In the program from birth, they would say that's anti-Semitic, but I didn't, you know, weren't exactly explaining why they saw that way, or not. Sorry, didn't saw that way, but why that was an anti-Semitic trope, and you know, and so I was trying to.
Well, we're playing duos. This should be enough, right? Maybe another team will come join us. Let's see what happens.
It has to be 2 more.
Let's see if people actually join us to try to murder us. This will be a fun experiment while we watch this bitch ult in the corner of the screen.
They'll sit if they see us.
Let's see.
Understand it, you know, and it wasn't until literally yesterday I had a great conversation with someone over DMs, and they sent me resources to you know, the dual loyalty trope, and I read into it, that I was able to understand that aspect. And, you know, of course, you know, someone who's more politically educated than me can debate all of these different intricacies. But for me, when I'm speaking about this, my biggest goal is to, you know, I never want to hurt anyone, you know?
I know nothing about this and I shouldn't be debating it. So I'm going to make a video on it and then do a debate. What?
And,
you know, I will say, I 100% am with you, right? And I think it's brave that you're calling it and facing all this stuff head on. I don't think most people would do that, right? So I am very grateful that...
Brave or stupid? Which one is it?
That you are coming here and having an honest conversation. And I appreciate...
That's what my grandpa used to say. Son, you are brave to the point of stupidity. Hey, somebody joined. We need one more.
Appreciate the emotion you're showing, right? I do. And I do think I want to just reaffirm that you should be criticizing Israel's government, right? You should be criticizing them for this fucking horrific genocide, mass murder of people in Gaza, right? You should be. It's just, you know, don't make broad generalizations about Jews. Like being born with some preconceived notions about the state of Israel and stuff like that, right? Like, don't say that Jews are programmed from birth. But like, you absolutely are right to and should criticize the state of Israel, right? 100%. No.
Yeah, he's right. It's not that hard. You can criticize the government without criticizing its people. Like the same thing you do in the country where you live, just apply that thought process to a different country. It's really not that hard.
No question about it. So, I mean, your intent,
because doing that to another country, like if I were going to criticize, you know, British Parliament, but not the British people, that would be okay. If I was going to criticize the entire country of Britain and all the people who are in it, that would be racist. See? Pretty clear distinction. It's really not hard to understand.
I feel, you know, I understand your intentions, right? I do. And that's kind of like the only way I can...
What's been hard for me, for example, is that I do criticize the government of Israel. We've said many times, when we lived there, I did not vote for Bibi. I'm not a right-wing Israeli, I'm a left-wing. So, like, I'm on your camp, you know? But people still villainize me. Like, if you go on TikTok, I'm like the
because you were in the IDF.
Villain. I'm the raider of Ramallah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that is anti-Semitism. You're not seeing me as a person.
Do you see how easy you fell into, like, anti-Semitic tropes? Like, it's just so easy when you run in these communities, because it's like, for them, that's just, they really are fucking racist. Like, they really are. Like, these snarkers are really genuinely just racist, right? And I mean, you've seen it with the content crash out guy. Like, you see these people like, oh, you do great research, you have all these videos on him, you've done all this, but like the subtext as a Jewish person looking at that, even just scrolling through the page, it's like, this person does not like Jewish people.
It's just like scrolling Twitter. Anytime there's police body cam footage or something that pops up, there's going to be a ton of people, no matter who's in the footage, there's going to be a ton of people going, the usual suspects. Of course, it's one of them. Okay, like it's just going to be racism. It's just going to be racism. It's not hard to spot, woman.
You know, and so it's, I find it troubling how easy it is to fall into that these days. And someone like you who has good intentions, would never want to, you know, participate in such a thing.
I don't believe her intentions were good. I believe they were malicious and they backfired, and now she's Now she's realizing, now she's dealing with the fallout. She's crying because it backfired. She's not crying because she actually cares about this stuff. I don't believe these people actually care about this stuff. In fact, she proved it right here. I've said it 100 times that all these people who pretend to care about Israel and Palestine and this conflict and all that bullshit, that it's all virtue signaling. And she pretty much just openly admitted to it, that she knows nothing about it, but she won't stop talking about it because talking about it gets her good feedback until she made the mistake of not using the right verb, and then it got her a bunch of hate. Yeah, that's how this goes. That's how this goes. You don't really care about this. You did it for clicks, you did it for virtue signaling, you did it for easy views. And now you're walking on thin ice, and one slip up and that fucking lake of piranhas you're walking on top of will eat you alive. You learned the hard way. That's why she's crying. She never actually cared about any of this shit, and she's pretty much openly admitting it now.
Can fall victim to these fucking insane narratives that you find on places like Snark.
Because if you care about something, you take the 2 seconds to Google it first. Like, you learn about it. You know, like, there's plenty of stuff I care about, and I'll sit there and research it so I know what I'm talking about, especially if it's a cause I want to fight for. I want to know as much about that cause as possible so I can know how to actually affect change. You did none of that, which means you don't actually care about it. Nice hoe.
You gotta go. The storm's coming.
Again, like, I don't want to talk about anyone else's page or condemn them just because I don't feel comfortable with that. I can, again, and I'm learning about anti-Semitism still. But I can see where I went wrong in my video, and
This is the part where you apologize specifically to Ethan about the video, and then you tell him you're going to take it down, issue a retraction. Here's your chance to make it right.
Yeah,
This is when you'll find out if she's serious or not. Spoiler alert, she's not.
In my original video, I spoke about, at least, again, I don't want to misquote myself, or anything like that, but...
Oh, don't worry. They got the clips. They can play them for you. Because his team actually does their job.
I don't deny that there's an increase in anti-Semitism happening, just like there's an increase in Islamophobia happening.
Why do you have to mention Islamophobia whenever you bring up anti-Semitism? Why?
Yeah. Point it out. You're doing it right now. You're still doing the thing that you say you're trying not to do. You're still doing it.
I mean, if you want me to be like honest on what I see personally happening, but again, this is from my perspective, my algorithm. I do think, there's a huge...
And now she's going to blame it on the algorithm and the rabbit hole she went down. See, she found the pipeline, guys. It's not her fault. She's a victim.
Huge danger happening. This is, talking about, sorry, I keep moving the mic. Talking about, this kind of fear of echo chambers and how they're getting worse and worse, and these personalized algorithms. I have been getting more and more afraid of my own content, sort of, that I'm in an echo chamber, and that my own
Snark
content
subreddit
is reflecting
is an echo chamber?
Absolutely, yeah. Just like anything, just like, to be honest, just like your anything. Subreddit as well, I mean, I think that
it is,
all of those are tailored.
It is an echo chamber. I wouldn't think it's as much as ours. It's not. But the thing is, I don't have I love researching in my, my profile description. And like, if somebody was trying to make a video, and only sourced it from our subreddit, I would say you need more sources on that.
I would love to do like a compilation of, how much I source from this versus that, and, all of that, because, and maybe that would cause me to reflect on myself, because again, sometimes I'll just go into this rabbit hole and unintentionally that's what will come out. But sorry, my intention was to find online commentary, like I've said again. Sorry. Now.
Well, you found commentary. You just picked the absolute worst topic to engage with it on.
I've sort of forgot my train of thought, but so my worry is that I'm in an echo chamber as well. So I've been kind of thinking of covering essentially this like series.
No, not anymore.
It's called Internet Archive, where I go into situations that have happened in the past online, or, influencers, kind of not influencers of the past, but you get what I mean, where it's not as highly debatable. It's not sort of in the now where you're shoved into, in a certain algorithm or a certain echo chamber. It's sort of like the situations are less debated, essentially, of what's taken place. I feel like that might at least help me, or just people in general, like get out of that a little bit. So that's what I'm hoping to cover sort of moving forward as well. Again, just reflecting on everything. I have been thinking about that for, the past few months in general. But yeah, I was thinking, I forgot how that sort of relates into all of this. Sorry, just a random thought.
I was asking how, why is it that when you talk about anti-Semitism, you feel the need to also mention Islamophobia?
Both sides.
Yeah. So I was going to talk, so, again, my personal viewpoint and what I've seen, to be honest, I kind of feel like Islamophobia in America particularly is really bad, especially since, 9/11 and everything. Obviously, that's fucked up what happened. That was terrorism. I don't want to
Wait, did we deserve it though? But did we deserve it though? Are you still trying to court that side? Tread lightly, woman.
Say, excuse that wasn't. But I think that, a lot of Americans have been really fucked up in terms of, being really racist towards Muslim individuals.
I think historically that's true,
opinion.
But
yeah.
For example, if you go to FBI crime stats for this year, Jews, who make up like 2% of the population, account for like almost 30% of all hate crimes. Like per capita, by far, Jews are the biggest victims of hate crimes by far, right? By far. And again, I don't say that to demean the.
They wouldn't do that if you guys didn't own all the banks. That's what happens when you control people's money. Let me stop.
Racism against one other person. But the fact that you can't even mention anti-Semitism without invoking Islamophobia just it feels to me when people do that it's like, yeah, it's bad. But also Jews somehow, for some reason, are I also have to mention that even, people hate Jews, but also, the Jews also kind of, with saying that Islamophobia is also a big deal. So let's just be
it's hard.
balanced.
It's like everything is personal perspective, right? I mean, even, literally right before this stream, I was seeing a ton of videos about Sudan and the what's it called? Like satellite images of,
the blood
on the streets. And so it's like, and I think that so many Americans have been completely tuned out to everything that's happening over there just because we're, very focused on what's happening over here. And so, and again, like I said, because of my perspective, I'm always going to have a limited worldview, and I have to be extremely cognizant of that. And I think that, it's like I think that sometimes running into situations like this where you're introduced to a broader audience who's going to really tell you like it is, sometimes that's okay, because you really learn where your flaws are, and where you need to get better. Obviously the harsher situations that I discussed.
If you played a drinking game where you took a shot every time she said, you would die. You would be dead right now. Jesus fuck.
On this call, wish those didn't happen, but in that process, but also, the kinder criticism, the harsher criticism, but that's more valid, I think all of that was really essential in terms of learning and getting better as a content creator.
There's something else I want to show you that I felt was hurtful. And here it is. It's your continued insistence that I'm paranoid, that people are out to get me, which you say simultaneously while editing out a swastika hilt brandished by iDubbbz, my former friend. So how is that paranoid, right? Like you say, paranoid implies.
Yeah. So
paranoid implies it's false and that you're seeing things that aren't there. Yeah, that you're, like scared of ghost, basically. You're shadow boxing.
Again, this is another trope that, oh, you see anti-Semitism everywhere, but actually you're hallucinating, which is something that iDubbbz and Hassan have both lectured me on. Non-Jews, white dudes, white cis dudes lecturing marginalized voices on how they should feel about the racism and the shit that they're facing, right? How can you say I'm being paranoid while also acknowledging the anti-Semitism that I face? It's just, it's very hurtful.
Well, first off, I want to say that's that sounds like conversations or an argument that is with other individuals. That's not a conversation or argument that I was intending to make. Sorry, I'm getting
about
situated.
Which one?
The sort of the conversations or arguments that you've had with Hassan or iDubbbz or Ian.
Well, you edited out the swastika. Why did you do that?
Yeah, can I say why I did that? So obviously, I speak about censorship on YouTube and all of that, but why I edited out the swastika is because I don't agree with it. I talk about how I.
But then, how can you accuse me of being paranoid?
Too far.
Yeah, like, you understand that just because you don't agree with it, if it's a thing he's worried about and it's real, editing it out because you don't agree with it makes him look paranoid. Yeah, you knew what you were doing. God, I'm glad he's not like... I'm glad the crying didn't work and he's not going to go soft on her. Good. Because, she knows exactly what she was doing. She edited it out to make you appear paranoid when you're not.
Did I do that in the same breath?
Many times. Here it is.
Because of his ties to Israel, but his decreasing capacity to view the other side.
That
the
was
wall
not in the
closing in on him, his paranoia, and all of a sudden, if you weren't with him, you were against him.
Listen, if you disagree with me, you're just not looking.
You're not showing what I'm talking about. It's not even, there's like...
Yeah, you're skipping like all the context.
I'm not just talking about myself. I'm sure I'm talking about something specific.
Not in this place as I am. This is what I see happening. People.
This was right after October 7.
Okay, that I can concede with you in the fact that you're talking about anti-Semitism, and I'm sort of
calling me paranoid.
Again, someone who's
this was right after October.
Not just calling him paranoid. You're making him appear paranoid to other people. Oh, here come some people. Maybe they'll actually sit on the couch with us.
October 7. That's us talking right after October 7.
Yeah. That being said, I do
that's
think
following the paranoia.
And
do you know what happened on October 7th?
We were.
Oh, that's a good question. She definitely does not.
Living it still because my family.
I know what happened. That was the day Black Ops 6 launched. I remember that day. That's the right answer, right?
That's the day Hassan shocked his dog.
And he can't stop.
Family lives there.
Do you think Hamas was? Do you think Hamas are terrorists?
Yeah, I say that in the video.
Okay, that's good. I mean, that's an important concession. I appreciate that.
She doesn't say they are terrorists. I'm surprised he's not playing the clip. She says that they've been designated as terrorists. So she's not really that's not really the same. You're saying the government says they're terrorists, not that you agree with it.
But as far as what was I going to say? And that's also my perspective. Again, it feels weird saying my perspective of you as I'm talking to you. But listening to your account of things. You met your wife in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
You had your birthright trip when you were speaking about being at sort of having a lot of difficulties in college. I can see the emotional ties that you have, and after
and my
after.
Wife. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
I live there. My wife
members.
is Israeli. It's really that.
Yeah, and having family members there and everything, and so and so after October 7th, that sort of toll that can take more than people who are completely removed from the situation.
You know what happened? It was the middle of the night, and I heard Hila on her phone. She was listening to Israeli news stations. Families were calling into the news stations live from their shelters, begging for help as they were being burned alive in their houses with their children, and nobody could help them. They were actually in their safe rooms, being murdered in front of their children, being burned alive. You know what I mean? Being fucking slaughtered in front of their children, losing limbs.
So she didn't know what happened on October 7th, and now he's got to tell her. Let's see if we get any tears now.
This was happening live.
There were things being live streamed. Like
they were calling into news.
Being murdered, live streamed.
Oh yeah, did you know that Hamas members would slaughter? They would slaughter people and then post it on their they take their phone and post it on their Facebook page. Their dead body. But all this was happening live, and nobody was there to help them, right? So we were just listening. It was like a whole day. We were just listening to people calling into the news, begging for help shortly before being executed.
Girls at the Nova were calling while they're hiding in a bush, whispering, and then nobody came because everybody's been slaughtered. Everybody's been killed. The reason why this has become such a, we became the villain. All we're asking is for people to understand that the Israeli civilians are also innocent. Just care about the Israelis. Just say that rapes happened.
Admit they're people. Again, you understood that a minute ago, that you can, criticize someone without criticizing the people. You can criticize the government. Well, can we do that again? Can we do that again? No? Guess not. Okay.
It's a way to acknowledge that there are victims in Israel too. That is all we're asking for. I'm not a representative of Bibi. I'm not Israel government. It's just insane.
It feels bad, right? Feels bad.
I mean, of course.
Where are those tears at now?
Of course. I think that the hardest thing is as I've spoken about in the video, my brother passed on October 3rd. So when all of this was happening,
I wasn't paying attention to it because my life took precedent, which makes sense because I don't know anybody who lives over there. Yeah, that's how all these people are. They don't really care about what's going on over there. Their lives are still going to come first. And the lives of people who live 3,000 miles on the other side of an ocean are going to come second. Of course that's going to happen. Stop pretending like you care more about this than you actually do.
It was I was.
That's horrible. I'm sorry.
To be honest, horrible. I was completely. It's fine. But it was a sort of weird thing where he drowned in Hawaii.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
See, that's what empathy looks like. Hey, no one on your side did that, did they?
That's all.
That's awful.
It's fine, but it's he was 20 years old.
Wow.
I'm sorry. But it's just so. Anyways, not to distract from all that conversation.
I mean, that does suck, but maybe you should have been focused on family stuff instead of this then.
But just to say,
I can understand you were distracted. Yeah.
So.
I mean. It sucks her brother died, but it's convenient that she's got an excuse for everything.
And then all of a sudden, to be honest, you can see in my content, I lost 30 pounds from grief and everything. And sorry.
So why were you focused on? God damn it. So why were you focused on making YouTube videos and doing this shit instead of grieving and going through that process? It's just. I'm sorry, my sympathy, maybe I'm not 32 yet. My empathy meter is at 0. I don't care. Obviously, this wasn't bothering you that bad if you still had the energy to make these videos to begin with. You still had the energy to continue doing this fucking YouTube shit when clearly you should have been doing, you should have been focused on family stuff. If it's going to affect your content and put you in a position where the entire internet could think you're anti-Semitic, maybe don't make those videos. Or maybe now that you're, realizing they were a bad idea, apologize. That's where I'm losing my sympathy. Is at no point during this has she apologized for her actions. She's apologized for the actions of others. She's apologized for how people feel. She's apologized for her staff, but never her actions. Nothing is ever her fault.
It was just weird. It was this tunnel of grief and everything, but I still kind of kept going with just the bare thing, basics of function.
in terms of like, what I needed to do to, be there for my kid.
Also, I don't really see how this is an excuse for her not being.
It's absolutely not.
Like, she's saying that she's not fully educated on it, but this whole thing happened like 3 years ago. Like, she has had enough time to.
Yeah, you've had plenty of time.
It.
It's the same thing with your brother dying. Like you've had plenty of time to correct a record since, to make a retraction for any bad video you get. Like, I get it. October 7th was only 4 days after your brother died. And if you made videos at that time, you shouldn't have been making videos. You should have been grieving. But if you're going to talk about an event that you didn't keep up with because you were dealing with personal stuff, well, that was a long time ago. Like, October 7th has long since been passed. You've had plenty of time to correct the record and learn since then. Like, all of these are just excuses that I lose my fucking sympathy for when you sit down and think about them for longer than 2 minutes. She's willing to weaponize anything she can to avoid taking accountability for anything. She's learned nothing. She doesn't actually feel bad. I'm sure she feels bad that her brother died, but she's channeling like the tragic loss of her brother to fuel her fucking tears that she needs to get out of this debate.
My family, just all of that. And yeah, and so
like, she's turned Ethan's podcast into her own fucking personal therapy session. Anything to avoid taking accountability. Sit on the couch, Keanu, come on.
Kind of coming back and seeing everything that had happened, in Palestine, Israel, just everything that was taking place. Obviously, I heard about October 7th.
What the hell is this guy doing?
But the picture that I see is different, it's changed. And obviously Free Palestine is a huge movement at that point. And I can empathize as to why by that point. I see Palestinians getting slaughtered, and I see streets getting leveled. And, it's that's sort of the perspective that I had coming into it. And, and then you see these videos that are just horrific, of a toddler just the same age as my kid, and being dead on the street. And so, it's like, again, this is a thing that war is just the most fucked up thing. And I was
war never changes. Sorry.
Raised in a religion where I can, where I understand that sort of historical context, behind it. And I also don't have a tie to any sort of, any situation. And so I'm trying to navigate it, but, that's.
Yeah, you have no business talking about any of this. That's what I'm gathering from the stuff you're saying. You have no ties to it. You've got no education on it. You have absolutely no business talking about or getting involved with any of this. You don't actually care about it. You're virtue signaling. And it's backfired on you horribly.
That's my perspective.
They're on the second floor.
Behind all of it.
And I think the problem or the frustration is that we agree, right? That the images coming out of there are unbearable. It's just so tragic. Yeah. It's such a you can't even fathom the scale of loss and suffering and tragedy that's taken place in there, right? And this is not like Hamas. These are just like fucking regular people. And it tears me up too. I feel the same pain. I do.
I saw that clip of you, crying over, I think it was a father and his son, and, being a father as well. And I empathize with you there,
I can't watch it because
I don't believe you empathize with him at all. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said the shit you said in your video to begin with. I'm sorry. Learning empathy halfway through this podcast I don't buy it.
It's like, it's so devastating. It's so devastating to see that stuff. And I guess it's just when I go all over the internet and everybody's calling me a Zionist, right? And everybody's saying, you support genocide, you want to kill babies. I mean, it's just not true. And it's just such an awful thing.
Yeah, obviously it's not true.
To say about somebody, and how am I not supposed to feel like prejudiced against when that's the conclusion. When I've been saying the opposite since before October 7th, right? But there's
so I guess
there's no
I mean,
justification.
perspective-wise, what's your I mean, genuinely, we're having this conversation and everything. What's your outlook on everything that's happening? How do you see things going? Again, I don't know shit, but you've been covering it more than me. I'd like to hear kind of.
It's a fucking insane quagmire. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
The giggity.
The best outcome I see is like Hamas leaving, right? And then a joint effort from Arab countries, America, Europe, who are willing to invest a shitload.
Look, I don't know enough about the situation to say like how it'll end or what the solution is. And the difference between me and this chick and all the people virtue signaling on Twitter and putting Free Palestine on their bio and all this, I don't pretend to know. I don't want to know. It's got nothing to do with me. I'm going to let people who know more about it, who can actually inflict that change, aka governments, handle it. Okay? I'm not going to pretend that I care or try to learn about, a desert war 3,000 miles away from me for fucking internet points, man.
Of money and rebuilding the infrastructure, bringing it back into a place that
can prosper.
That's respectful. Yeah, could prosper and respectable. Rebuild it in a beautiful place, not a hotel for Trump, obviously. Like this could be, by the UN, by the Arab League involved in making decisions in terms of like what's the best way to rebuild Gaza. That's the best way I see it. But like honestly, there's no good solution.
What do you think should happen to the Palestinian people?
They should be free. They should get their own state. They should be free. Absolutely. Right?
Yeah, like that's the thing, is he agrees with Hassan and like his crowd on like 95% of the issues. The only thing he doesn't agree with them on is that Israel should still have the right to exist. Like that's it, and that was enough to make them go scorched earth. They went scorched earth on this chick because she said the wrong word in a sentence, because she said war instead of genocide, because she used the wrong verb.
And
I mean, there's no question about it.
I wish for them that they wouldn't have to live under Hamas because they don't care for them. I wish that they can be.
Yeah, bottom line, everything I've learned about it every time I hear people talk about it is it's complicated. Like even them just trying to explain it here, he can't give a simple answer because he has got to give a different answer. And well, I wish they could do this, and I wish this, and it ends up being complicated. It's complicated, and I got enough on my plate already to not fill my head with a complicated war that I have zero effect on, just so I can score internet points. That
free people, and just prosper. Have
yeah, and by the way, these settlers taking land in the West Bank and the government co-signing that is, I have trouble expressing how vile these people are. I'll say this. I've said this before, and I'll just say it again. So for the record, I've said that West Bank settlers are valid military targets, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Okay. That's good to know. I mean, that was something that I thought was a really fascinating.
Switch to a Simpsons character.
Limited, understanding.
No, it won't.
I did really like listening to the Throughline podcast, and that was one episode on settlements that I found really interesting. Again,
she's just politically brain rotten, dude.
They're just evil. I mean, these people are just evil. They're just like Hamas, but for fucking Jewish supremacy, right? That's what they're doing. It's just evil. So like, yeah, and I've always had that. It's funny, if you go back to these 15-year-old accounts that everybody calls me a pedophile for, there's comments in that account of me saying I don't support West Bank settlers and that I believe in Palestinian statehood and like these are opinions that I've been expressing consistently since the beginning of any footprint I have on the internet. So it's just been a wild thing, man. to see how I've been treated in the wake of all this happening. You know, and it was in a private account too that I never thought anybody would ever read. I had no reason to ever like exaggerate my support for Palestine, which is what people accuse me of, by the way. They just say I'm lying. It's like there's no winning, right? There's no.
Yeah, he lied on a troll account that existed before all this drama. Because that makes sense.
Winning. And this is, you know, and this, so this is the kind of what.
Yeah, I mean, I you know, I feel like in some of this situation, maybe I feel like that's, you know, some of my statements have been taken that way too, and I think, you know, it's like, you know, there's a middle ground, you know, there's people where that happens on the really extreme end. There's people that are treated really well online and are just beloved by everyone. And then there's sort of a middle ground where it's like being online, you know, sometimes just what you say is going to be taken out of context. I do think, again, this is just...
That's what you did for the entirety of your video.
That's my personal opinion. Take it as you may.
That's why I have no sympathy for her. This is 100% projection now. She's... So many tactics being used here. Now she's gone to projection.
Sometimes the more you, you know, engage with that, sometimes the worse it can get, you know, the more attention you bring to it, the more it happens, etc. You know, that's my personal opinion.
This is on a scale that you can't even imagine. You've seen it on TikTok. You've seen it on Twitter.
That also might
You've
be
seen it on Reddit.
Privilege.
You've seen it on FOMOI, by the way. You know, there's crossover between FOMOI and H3 Snarkers. Same mods. Same mods, right? And this is a fucking subreddit supposed to talk about, like, popular media celebrities, and they're posting about me all fucking day, saying I'm pro-genocide with 30,000 points on the front page of Reddit, right? Like, it's not in it. This isn't in a situation where I can ignore it and just go on with my life, unfortunately.
And, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, some of this might be my privilege as well, you know, as a content creator. You know, I was, you know, again, I've had some incredible conversations with various content creators over the past week, and a lot of it's been really enlightening in terms of just, you know, lessons learned, you know, and one of which was a Black woman who's been speaking with me about just over her years as a content creator, the amount of harassment she's gotten, you know, in terms of just, you know, one day she'll lose 5,000 subscribers, the amount of, you know, people calling her slurs and messages and comments. And it's like, oh my gosh, you know, honestly, you know, that's not something that I've had to face in the scope of my
and just to
career,
kind of bring it, to try to make it tangible for you, you co-signed a TikTok account that compared Hila's Star David tattoo to a pentagram.
No, and that, you know, again.
Yeah, go back to that. Hold her feet to the fire on this shit. Fuck this bitch.
Something, you know, I'll look into moving forward is the full scope of, you know.
No, don't care about looking forward. Tell us why you did it now.
Someone's account. That being said, like I said, you know,
did you know, or at least apologize for it. Say, yeah, moving forward, I'm going to do better, and I'm sorry I didn't do good this time. She's still not apologizing. Like, still not apologizing. Despite all the fucking tears.
You sourced content crash out 9 different times. That's like, that's like
yeah, that's more than a mistake, sweetheart. That's an intentional choice.
A significant amount of times. 9
I mean,
times.
how many sources in total, how many clips in total do I have on the channel, you know?
I'm sure it's a lot, but
she's still trying to find a way to excuse it.
But my point is that 9 times is a significant amount of times to source.
Also, like, my question would be for that, is that like the same, because for example, in the intro, I can sometimes like, oh, here's what.
All you have to do is own it and apologize. It's pretty obvious that you knew more about this account than you're letting on. That's what he's politely trying to get you to admit to and apologize for, is that you knew. You're trying to act like, oh, I didn't realize this account was that bad. You sourced it 9 times, which means you probably watched more than 9 clips to pick the 9 you wanted to use. It's clear you knew more about this channel than you're letting on. This was intentional. Just apologize for it. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do.
what's to come, you know, so I might clip something and then that'll be.
Ethan, as much as you might not like him, is a pretty fair guy. I'm pretty sure he'll let it go if you just apologize.
Be the same clip that's used later on. Is that, you know, counted?
I'm not sure how it was counted,
that,
to be fair. So honestly, we've been talking for a long time, and I'm very grateful for your time. There's one more thing I want to watch, and then we can kind of just wrap
That
it
being
up.
said, I do want to say too, we were going to mention the content cop, where I do mention, I kind of say, you know, to be fair, I definitely think IDubbbz's approach, claiming to be a concerned friend who recently learned the concept of empathy while dancing around in a goofy way, well, it definitely sends mixed messaging. You know, like I mean,
that's like,
yeah,
that's an attempt at being biased. I think that's an extraordinarily understatement. I mean, from my perspective.
Yeah, but you know, you know, where you're talking about.
But yeah,
you're
making an attempt,
or you know, kind of seeing your
no,
side.
I appreciate you said that.
You know,
that was good that you said that. I appreciate that.
I want to interject and say that, yeah, because you know, again, I
appreciate
you know,
that.
This idea that I
do.
never reached out and tried to see your side or your perspective. There's certainly times that I did that. You know?
You didn't. No, you didn't. No, don't let her get away with that. She did not. She can claim she tried to see your perspective, but she did not reach out to you. That never happened.
Okay.
Fair. I appreciate you pointing that out, and I agree in that case that was good. So let's just here. I just want to watch this one more thing.
He's gonna let her get away with that
Ethan
one.
streamed an episode.
Because she's trying to make it sound like she reached out to him when she didn't. All right, but yeah, move on. Just call her out on the bullshit, I guess.
Stating a child welfare visit was called in from people who worked at his house. He then blamed anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence. So let's talk about
manipulated evidence.
Manipulated evidence. What is that?
Oh, CPS.
You didn't show anything.
Yeah, let me.
True. Yeah, show what you're referencing.
Go to the actual.
I know what you're
source.
talking about, but you pull it up. Pull up the source, and then we can respond to that.
Yeah.
You're referring to that clip of Denims talking to Bad Empanada.
Okay, what chapter is that? Sorry, let me.
Oh.
I mean, sure, fucking video.
I'm just referencing. I'm guessing, right, from my mind. We can wait and pull it up though.
Okay. Sorry, just because it's like 48 pages.
He knows her video better than she does.
Okay. Okay, so this is page 43, I want to say.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Hey man, welcome aboard. Not a bot either. I know how generic the comment is. Manipulated evidence makes me think, okay, let's unpack this. I'm not even like, at this point, I'm not even mad that she's malicious. It's the fact that like, this is so performative because she won't apologize for it. Like, I would almost, and I'm pretty sure Ethan would too, like you would almost give her a pass for all of this stuff if she apologized for it and showed some remorse, because then you can be like, okay, you fell down a rabbit hole, you got brainwashed by Snark and Hassan and his community. Those people can be very aggressive. I can see how you could fall for it. I'm glad I could help, you know, bring you back down to reality. Yeah, like you could almost forgive it if that's the tone it had. But it doesn't. This is all performative because everything is someone else's fault. Nothing is her fault. She never apologizes for it. And if she gets pushed too hard, she ults and starts crying and blames it on her, you know, blames it on her staff or blames it on her brother's death or blames just anything but herself. It's so fucking disgusting, dude.
So I am.
Could someone pass that link?
Mm-hmm. So I think this is where I'm referencing in general the
and these people put Ethan through hell and just like blame everything on him and call him the meanest things under the sun. And any time that they get the chance to like talk to him or hold his feet to the fire, he's still the most charitable person in the world to him. I don't understand how you can watch him, like anyone who's watched both. I don't understand how you could watch him and watch them and still walk away going, no, Ethan's the bad guy. I make it make sense. I can't. It just doesn't make sense.
You sort of master post from that, you know, that Snark, and then it goes into the alleged CPS involvement, which is their like number 2 on their,
well, hold on. You said
list.
You said I used doctored evidence to blame them.
So so that was on their list.
Don't let her word salad her way out of this one like she did last time. Let her go on her little tirade, be nice, don't interrupt her, and then when she's done, circle right back to that original question where you go, yeah, so what evidence did I manipulate again? Yeah, just keep circling back to that question until she answers it. Hold her feet to the fire on something, Ethan.
List. So they, you know,
you didn't even bother to reference that or like to fact check that
at all? I should make that really clear. So then I go into, right after that, I have a post from the Tribune that goes into the CPS and the you know, the skulls and everything. So
but do you see how you're setting the audience expectations when you
anonymous users for the call with manipulated evidence.
Manipulated evidence. I mean the expectation.
And then you show absolutely nothing. Yeah.
You're setting for the audience already is that I'm somehow acting in bad faith in this whole thing, right?
I could see how I could structure it differently. Essentially what I was doing with that is, you know, if you kind of...
I would have interrupted her right there and been like, okay, so you see how you can structure it differently. Tell us what that looks like. Get her to show you what you meant by that.
Zoom out a little bit further. I'm reading from this like Reddit master post about their, you know, concerns, you know.
Do you think the audience cares?
They make H3 Snark post. Yeah, we get it.
That distinction?
4 different posts. Again, like I said, I could structure it differently. You know, and so this is, you know, number 2 on their, you know, concern list. So this is, you know, kind of quoted directly from them. Again, on screen, how it could be potentially edited differently is, again, just showing the post itself, you know, and, you know, highlighted, you know, showing that this is, you know, a quote from them, not a quote from me. Again, moving forward, scaling down to ensure that what's being shown on screen aligns with that, you know, my intention.
You mean basic video editing? How long have you been doing this? Yeah, the visual should match the fucking commentary.
Yeah, but
especially in an edited video. It's not like you're doing this live and you just didn't have the sources on hand or something. You're not going off memory.
And afterwards,
just because we're counting, you sourced Snark 66 times in the video.
God damn! 66 times? Ethan did his fucking homework. So she sourced an individual Snarker on TikTok 9 times. And Snark 66 times. How many clips total did she use in this video, do you think? Like, how many of them were not from those 2 sources? Holy fuck!
I feel like the total can't be much more than that.
It can't be, dude. It just can't be. Holy shit.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the amount of, you know, again, how many times...
If I'm being generous, it's at least 70% of her video. It's at least 70% of her sources. It's still the vast majority. Because she does say that she sourced the H3 subreddit itself. Not the Snark one, his official one. So, I mean, what were you sourcing there? Like, what did you source there from his official one? Were you sourcing the times that he referenced Snark? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Times is that, you know, just an opinion, you know, that I'm sharing? How many times is that a clip?
Right.
You know,
my guess is that it's mostly editorialized clips, like probably the vast majority of them.
Mm-hmm. And you know, compared to how many times there's YouTube videos.
Yeah, Snark is almost 100% going to be editorialized, which is a very nice way of saying clipped out of fucking context.
Videos from your actual videos themselves. I would love to know that information in terms of like.
Yeah, we could crunch numbers.
I would love to. You know, even just for my own criticisms, like, okay, let me actually see those numbers, because I do think, again, going down these rabbit holes, I can.
I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but at this point, I don't care if I die. I'm gonna stay on the couch.
I could tell by the way he was running that he was about to kill us.
I'm just staying on the couch and see what happens at this point.
Go into online forums and like really look through them and be like, okay, let me include that. That's relevant here. Let me include that. And you know, that's not, again, like I said, moving forward, I won't be doing that method. I'll be okay. Let me go through the original sources. And then if I want to go into online forums and provide certain opinion pieces, it's after the research is done and my sort of conclusion on the situation is done. Or if I happen to find a clip from an online forum.
Again, Turkey Tom's been doing this since he was 14. Literal fucking children know how to make videos better than this. Like, why is this a lesson you had to go through this much shit to learn? If I'm to believe that you actually have learned a lesson here and that's why you're saying the shit you're saying. Which, for the record, I do not. I do not. This is all part of the performance. She's going to make it sound like she's going to do better so that you don't hold her accountable now. This is just another tactic.
Let me ensure that I can find the original clip so I can see it in its full context, just in case, you know?
Do I know what her what is?
Her channel name?
Cruel World, happy face? Happy something? Happy thoughts? Yeah. Cruel World, happy mind.
I was just curious if she posted anything since...
Let me look real quick. Let me have a look real quick. See, Cruel World, Happy Mind. Probably not. If she's smart, she has bowed out of this and is just going to wait for the dust to settle. If she's smart. Which, she's probably not. Let's see.
I don't see anything.
Cruel World, Happy Mind. Yeah, I don't see
As a parent.
Yeah, the last one was her apology video where she wasn't even apologizing to Ethan. So the only thing, by the way, so we're clear, the only thing she's apologized for is saying the word war instead of genocide when referring to Palestine. She has not apologized to Ethan. She's apologized to Hassan's crowd for using the wrong verbiage one time in a 3-hour video. And she used a 30-minute video to apologize for that. That's the only thing she's apologized for. Jesus fuck, man.
Okay, so regardless, you say based on this thread from Snark that I've faked evidence, even though you don't know what it is that I faked.
So right after that, so again, that's the, Snark quote, but right after that, I go into a article by the Tribune.
Yeah,
and
I'll play
worked
that.
At his house.
In the video?
Yeah, and
I'll
you
play
can
it. I'll play
see,
it.
Then
you can
blamed
see in
anonymous
the
users for the
research
call
itself
with
as well.
manipulated evidence. So let's talk about CPS being called on Ethan Klein, as stated in this mega thread. In March of 2025, Child Protective Services visited the Klein's home, and Ethan Klein claimed he received skulls in the mail, human skulls.
So
claimed.
Oh, so they sent us these skulls that are expensive and no one paid for them, and then we're like, well, I'm keeping them.
Why aren't you apologizing for this verbiage now?
Because I want them for evidence in case I ever need to talk about this.
Yeah.
And then they start calling us after a month, like begging us to return the skulls.
We found at first we were just kind of like, are these people serious? And also we weren't sure if the FBI was going to like ask for it for evidence or whatever.
The situation began in early March when CPS arrived after an anonymous tip claimed his child was crawling around and eating dog food. Ethan Klein claimed that this claim has come from streamers who had spread the rumor that Ethan Klein's children had contracted Giardia.
Oh, it absolutely came from them. We watched them stream it, and we saw their chats chanting "Call CPS." It's very obvious where it came from. These are the people who would try to convince you that water ain't wet.
Then, around that time, the family received 2 unidentified human skulls, allegedly by mail, which prompted an FBI investigation.
Allegedly by mail, but not allegedly that they were human skulls. I don't think you know what this word means. What, do you think they teleported there? Yeah, they came in the mail. We know that much. You would say allegedly they were human skulls. You would question the authenticity of the skulls if you're really trying to catch it out. She is really bad at her job. It's the worst hit piece I've ever seen.
And of course, probably does not help with Ethan Klein's paranoia that people are out to get him.
The paranoia thing is like,
I know.
I got a human skulls in the mail. I mean, can you really?
again,
CPS come to my house. I got human skulls. I mean, at what point do we stop calling me paranoid?
And also, again, to be honest, with the people finding my aunt's photo, which, by the way, also girl with a microphone apparently tweeted asking an AI. Let me find that.
Girl with a microphone. That's the like Ethan Klein H3 waiting room girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Actual tweet, so I don't, again, misquote it. Asking Grok if I was homeschooled, and then like
based? Oh shit. I'm gonna start doing that to people. Hey Grok, is she homeschooled? Grok.
Like they brought up random Madison Harnish.
Why would you read that out loud on this podcast? I retract my previous statement. She really doesn't know how to recognize trolling. She doesn't know.
It's like a meme in on the podcast that all of the people who make hate videos like this on Ethan are homeschooled.
Yeah, they must
I think
be.
A few of them have been. Yeah.
They have zero social skills and they can't identify what a troll is. Because this confirms it. She can't tell she's being trolled. They're using AI to troll you. Why would you read that out loud? That's a comment you ignore and don't bring attention to. Because I know Ethan has chat turned off, but my God, I wish I could have seen their reaction to that one. What are the comments? What are the comments? You got the comments on, right? You at least left those on. Yeah, they're on. Ethan, why did you attack me? Her being a military wife is hard. Oh my God, they have the patience of saints. I don't know if I can finish this. Oh no, it's worth finishing. Once she ults, it gets good. Oh God. Okay. All right. We'll save those for the end. Jesus Christ, it's gonna be gold in that comment section.
A school they go to, and then she asked,
Jesus.
And then she asked Madison Harnish, aka Cruel World Happy Mind, was she homeschooled? And then they say, got it. You mean the YouTuber Madison Harnish of Cruel World Happy Mind?
Wow, she's really reading the whole thread. Oh my God.
After checking bios, videos, and searches, I found no info indicating she was homeschooled. Her education background isn't publicly detailed. If that's wrong, point me to a source. Like trying to find my schooling information.
To be fair, I don't think that's what she was trying to do.
Yeah, she was trolling you. This is where you show her. That's an example of trolling. She knows that Grok doesn't know this. She's making a joke.
I think she was just trying to find out if you were homeschooled.
Yeah, you know how it kind of looks, though.
But like you would type something like that into.
Yeah, it looks like a joke. It looks like a joke.
I know what you're saying, and I don't want to go anywhere close to doxing.
Right now, trolling Twitter, the meta for on Twitter for trolling is to @Grok and ask it insane questions about the person that you're trying to troll. You know Grok's not going to know the answer, but the fact that you asked is what that is the. I can't believe I have to explain this. This chick's an idiot.
I know she's thoughtful with her the way she conducts herself though. So
tag me in, coach. Let me be your waiting room. I got this.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't her intention.
Yeah, it looks a little.
Oh my God. No, because I'd be explaining it in my post while still making the joke. I'd make a whole ass video explaining what trolling is. I'd do a video essay on the history of trolling to help her understand when she's being trolled. That would be my response. I'd do a Turkey Tom style video on what trolling is.
It rubs me the wrong way, to be honest.
I can understand why that would rub you the wrong way. Yeah.
But yeah, so some of those things, my aunt's photos being dug through, stuff like that. People trying to find information about my husband. It's like,
that's
I totally, I've been more paranoid in this past week than I've been in my entire life. So I understand that feeling. Again,
By the way, the homeschool thing, maybe it sounds weird to you. There's kind of like a joke that we do on the show where we go, like the last 2 people I've beefed with, quote unquote, were all homeschooled. So it kind of turns into a joke. Like, is this
He's actually explaining the joke now.
Person homeschooled? So I think she was tapping into that.
And she totally fucking gets it. She's just pretending she doesn't.
To be completely transparent, I grew up doing like really, really intense ballet. I was like,
Yeah, but were you homeschooled though? That's all we care about. And I'm gathering yes, because you didn't immediately deny it.
Basically like dancing 6 hours a day. So I did online school, dual school.
Yes,
so,
she was homeschooled.
I don't know if that applies.
My school was online. Yeah, but where did you access the internet? Was it in your home?
So she was spitting.
It was like one of the first, programs in my area that like had online school.
Yeah, I think it's just
where I met my husband. So
You met your husband at homeschool?
Well, so we actually met in middle school, and I thought he was super interesting because he would like ride his bike every day, and it was in Orange County where everyone has like their moms drive them to school in Escalades, and he would ride his bike every day, and I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of interesting. It turns out he would ride his bike 9 miles every day to school and back, and then we both ended up.
So your husband's autistic.
Being the only 2 to graduate high school from our dual online school program.
Oh my
wasn't
God.
Very, successful program, it seems like.
Look at you two,
that.
born
None of this is helping your case. Oh my God.
Natural partner.
And so, or just, the only ones that knew how to like use Google on test online school. No, I'm kidding. But I'm kidding. Don't take away my online degree. That's very important to me. But anyways, that's how we met, and we went to online school for very different reasons. I was a ballet dancer, and his is his own personal story.
What does being a ballet dancer have to do with whether or not you go to online school? Whether or not you're homeschooled? My kids have extracurriculars. They're gymnasts. I'm not pulling them out of school for that.
You might get comfort in this, but the current debate happening in our community is which stain is more annoying? The one on your sofa or the one on my hat? And I'll tell you guys.
The cum stain.
To defend myself a little bit, the one on my hat is from.
What is it?
What is it from?
Show it to me.
Yeah.
Something to do with the kids.
I'll say
What did I read?
It's marker is what it looks like.
Yours is a lot more annoying, Ethan.
It is?
Yeah, because I can't even see hers
someone
anymore.
bring me a replacement
Yours
hat.
is front and center.
You guys were fucking harping on her stain, and I'm the one sitting here looking like
I didn't mind her
stain.
I didn't even notice her stain. I was staring at your stain. Yeah, I didn't mind hers.
Thank you, Tamara. Legend.
I didn't notice your stain until this point, until you just pointed it out. I was
You
too
saw
busy.
it.
They circled her stain. They circled her cum stain. I can't with this right now.
I didn't notice anything.
Put a big red arrow on it. Go full watch mojo.
You were plotting on me the whole time. No, what is that red from? Seriously.
Oh, it's from the clown makeup.
Oh,
it's
the
from
clown
Friday.
makeup.
I would have guessed marker. My kids are always drawing on shit at that age.
Yeah.
You graciously used in your thumbnail.
I'll be honest, I have no idea where my stain came from. So
Well, it was
probably worse.
Cum stain. It's a fucking cum stain. Okay? We've all had sex on a sofa. Well, those of us who... never mind. I was going to say all of us, but most snarkers probably haven't. Never mind. Most normal people have had sex on a sofa. Okay? We know a cum stain when we see one.
Yes, true. Who knows? It could be from anything. Listen,
But,
there's...
oh yeah, what was I gonna say? I totally forgot what we were talking. Oh yeah, so as far as like the paranoia thing went, I mean, literally, I just was trying to. I mean, again, hope I'm not overstepping here. I don't think it's healthy for you to be getting into these online beefs and to be going down these, rabbit holes with different people, because I've felt that myself.
What do you mean getting into these online beefs? These people are bringing it to his literal fucking doorstep. It's not like he's choosing this.
Genuinely, within this past week, I felt like, this is a very dark corner of the
is
internet.
Coke Zero healthy? No, but I drink 10 of them a day.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. I'm just being silly.
God, he's being way too fucking charitable to this chick.
And that's.
I don't
that's
actually,
just,
for the record, drink 10 a day. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
1, 2,
six.
Not 6.
Yeah, I used to drink like 3 yerba mates a day, those like energy drinks. So, but yeah, what was I gonna say? I mean, genuinely, that's the thing. It feels like a very dark, corner where it's like the more you get involved with these situations, it's like the more it brings out like these different, situations and darkness and people. And then it sort of like ruins your like faith in humanity a little bit, I'm not saying you specifically, I'm just saying like in general, know. And I think right now, like, the world is so, now here I'm gonna, this is gonna sound like the stupidest statement ever. The world is so fucked up, like, obviously it is. But like, yeah, that like, oh my gosh, these situations, yeah, I mean, yeah.
One thing I will say about
I do genuinely wish that one day you're able to escape from all of this and not have, all of this happening in your life, and have, segments that, are just like, podcasts that are, I mean, again, I'm not a regular watcher of your podcast. You totally do this.
I wouldn't take it too seriously. Our teammates are worthless. Back this up a little bit. I missed the last thing she said. Okay.
I mean, again, I'm not a regular watcher of your podcast. You totally do this.
No.
But
if you were, then you'd probably have different opinions than the ones you were told to have from the Snark community.
The podcast shows that are just entirely lighthearted, where none of this is happening.
I know. Honestly, we would love that too. This isn't like fun for us either.
And the thing is, like, I used to be of the mind that like ignoring it is better, and I'd say for most people that's true.
Yeah, but you can't ignore it when they start sending CPS and skulls to your fucking house.
First time that wasn't working was ironically the Fupa Fund thing. Keemstar was spreading this malicious lie that I stole money to the point where it was just becoming bigger and bigger, and not quieter and quieter. It forced me to make a video responding, and from that response, I killed the thing entirely. And this kind of similar thing's been happening, although I have the shitstorm is proven much more persistent than the Fupa shit. But it's kind of just been the same way, where it's like after Leftovers collapsed, it's just been a torrent of fucking horrific shit, and it's gotten like more severe and more strong, and to the point where it begs a response. And
I mean, I felt that way, like when all of this happened, and they're like, oh, I need to make a response, and then you made your response from that, and so it's like, oh, and I agree with Dan. I should not have done a one take. I should have ensured that it was perfectly polished. That was
You should have done a lot of things differently. Mainly, just not make the video.
In general, irresponsible. I think I wanted to feel this sense of authenticity, but again, a lot of my ignorance showed through in that. But I think, and then from that, I was like, oh, I need to do a stream to clarify this and to show where I agree and all of that. And then, things get worse from there. And so it's like, I guess that's a struggle in general when it comes to content creations. When, some of this happens, do you, sorry, I have the hiccups now. Do you respond? Do you let it lie? How do you, to what level do you, because I think that, going down endless rabbit holes, it's like...
She's doing the word salad again, where she's painting herself as a victim. Rambling.
Like, you can't find your way back up sometimes. And that was my kind of perspective on that. And again, I'm sorry if I didn't clarify it fully or it didn't come through.
She's doing this thing where she'll properly identify the problem that led her to where she is, but then still continue to stay where she is and not go forward.
I think that also, you know, when it comes to making content, I have to have that mind of like the people that are the subject of the videos are they will likely, maybe not, but likely, I just kind of assume they're probably not going to watch the video, but I need to assume that they might watch it.
They'll watch it.
They'll probably
you should assume they'll watch it.
Yeah. They'll
Okay.
probably watch it.
I think I still have in my mind that I'm just
But
like
even
this
if they don't,
small
people,
content creator.
It still matters because people are watching it in this ecosystem, and shit that you say, people are going to believe. I saw a lot of people being like, you're a trusted source for them, and whatever you put in your videos, they believe. So, like, it doesn't really even matter if I watched it or not, right? Because if there is, anyway, listen, there's two things I want to hit on before we go. One, about the skulls in CPS. These are factually backed up. In our public filing right now, the lawsuit, you can see it's public filing. The conversation
Yeah, they've been submitted to court under penalty of perjury. Pretty sure he's not lying about them.
we have with the Skull Company and the report from CPS saying that the call was unfounded.
And they've been verified by the company that they got sent from. So
these are all part of the public record. I can even send you a link. The second thing, and most important thing I want to say to you before we leave is, you know goddamn well.
Yes, finally he's going to unload at the end because he doesn't care if she leaves now.
That Hassan Piker shocked his dog.
Oh, never mind. Well, still. Well,
no comment.
Yeah, come on. Give him one win. Give him one win. Give up on that community. It already tried to eat you once. Throw them under the bus. Come join the H3 crowd. Fuck them.
Not one. I'm
Come
so sorry.
That motherfucker zapped his poodle. Now listen, I'm not saying he should
and he can't stop.
Get his dog taken away or anything crazy like that, but I mean he definitely,
Place.
You know, it's so funny because in my initial video, oh my gosh, you guys are gonna hate me for this. I'm so sorry to end the video on a bad note. Okay, in my initial video, I totally conceded with this, where I'm like, yeah, the clips don't look good, and you know, yeah, you know, it's.
So he did shock his dog?
And he changed his story a lot, and then as time went on, I'm kind of like, well, you know, it just over a long period of time of constantly having the dog in screen, you would think that there would be far more examples.
There are far more examples. He usually mutes his microphone. You can see a pattern of behavior. He mutes the microphone, he leans forward, just like he does when he grabs the remote, and the dog jumps onto the bed. The only reason you hear the dog yelp in this one as opposed to all the other clips is because he forgot to mute this time. There are examples. You just didn't look. She's still desperate for an in with that community. Ah, God, damn it.
Why can you not stop lying? Please stop lying! What is wrong with you?
Of that happening.
There's a ton.
There's
a ton.
There's a lot.
Dude, there's so many.
You clearly see him reaching for the remote.
Give me 5 minutes.
And then her react. Like,
hold on, give me
so
5 minutes. I'm gonna convert you.
Wait, I got 4 people on this couch. Is something supposed to happen? Oh, one of them got up. Come on, sit back down. Sit back down. Is something supposed to happen here? Nothing happened. Oh, come on, guys, sit down. I want to see what happens. Oh, and they're gonna murder me now.
That's why this has lasted so long. It's because he's obviously lying and everybody's seeing it. And it's just, that's why this topic has been so fascinating to so many people.
That thing is, it really depends on what communities you run in. Because there are very pro Hassan communities who are like, he didn't do it. There's no way. Or whole bullshit. And other communities, which are hostile to Hassan, my community, for example, is one of them. They'll post a shitload of evidence, man. Hold on, I gotta find. There's like I'm not forcing you to make a decision one way or the other, but I do want to arm you with the most important weapon of all: information.
Place.
Don't talk to her like that, Hassan.
No.
Sorry.
Place.
It's rude. I'm waiting for the link.
Yes.
I don't know if you heard this. This song was big.
I'll be completely honest. I have to go pee so bad though. I had like this whole thing of water like throughout this.
Oh, you have to pee? Okay.
But,
all right, but listen, if you want to find the evidence, it's there.
Yeah, it's okay.
I can send you.
Yeah, she's willfully not looking for it. We all sat down on the couch and like nothing happened. Was something supposed to happen?
I thought so, but I don't know.
I mean, there were 4 people on the couch. Maybe you got to sit there for a certain length of time. I don't know. I'll try it for one more, Rach.
Links. I won't hold you any longer. I'll send you links.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know this is essential information for me, but
Fair enough.
I'll be honest. It's been like the last 30 minutes.
We've been here for a long time.
I really appreciate you calling in and, facing this head on. I'm very grateful. I think you've been open-minded and sensitive to everything.
She hasn't.
Which I'm grateful for. And so I'm just appreciative for your time and for you speaking openly.
But I get it. He's trying to... I've been criticizing Ethan for it and saying he should have gone harder, but in all honesty, he's probably done the best play possible. Again, he's a professional at this point, is to make himself... You can't stoop down to their level. You make yourself look as absolutely sane as possible to make them look as crazy as possible by comparison. So by just acting normal and not losing your cool, they look crazy, which, I mean, they are. So it's not hard to make them look, but you just put it on full display. When you look like the most reasonable, rational person in the fucking room, and they can't even concede on a single point or apologize once. So it's pretty easy. He did what he was supposed to do. That was the right play.
About this, which most people would not do, right? So I think that speaks to high character that you're willing to do this.
Thank you.
And also,
thank you for speaking with me too, and being, again.
She's not going to call him open-minded and say all that good stuff about him. She started to, and then she goes, and then she's got to backtrack. Because end of the day, what's really on her mind right now is courting Hassan and his community. So she's constantly thinking about... Yep, she's constantly thinking about how they're going to perceive the things that she says. Because she starts to say the thing that she knows is true, and then she falls back into the performance.
I don't think I've ever had this in-depth of a conversation from, someone that I've made a video on, and I think it's given me a lot to think about when it comes to content creation, and that's an incredible opportunity on my end to reflect and, move forward with, a lot of this in mind. So
I also want to give you my condolences.
Yeah, standard non-answer. She started to say thank you and started to say the same thing to him, thank you for being, and then she stopped herself. So she's still being malicious. It hasn't changed.
This is on that horrible
She's learned nothing.
Tragic loss of your brother. That's heartbreaking.
Thank you.
Yeah. So sorry.
And he's showing empathy where she is not.
To hear about that.
But, a reminder that we're all dealing with shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thank you so much. I mean, I think we've said almost all of it.
Yeah.
And we're in touch now. So if anything comes up, if you have any questions about anti-Semitism, you want a snap check from a real, authentic Israeli Jew, you can ask me anything, anytime.
Sounds
all right?
great. I appreciate it.
But anyway, have a great night. And once again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, a reminder to our audience to be kind. This was a conversation we had in good faith with each other. And I think that alone...
Well, good faith came from one side of it, at least.
...deserves credit and kindness and understanding, so thank you. And to the audience, please heed my words. We come in peace. All right. Have a great night. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
That is Madison of Cruel World Happy Mind.
I was hoping she would say have a good night.
Have a good night.
There was almost an okay Ethan in there.
There was like bets going on. Are we gonna get an okay?
Yeah, I got you. Anyway, listen, basically, thanks for watching. Yeah, thanks for watching.
Which is really almost 6 because of the time change. So.
But are we doing something tomorrow?
All right, I think it's into that. At no point did she apologize. At no point did she learn anything. At no point was any of that good faith. It was just more of she's still trying to court that audience. Fuck, man. I really wish he had it going harder toward the end there, but she ulted. I think he was going to, and then she ulted and brought up her dead brother and just cried. And he folded. I mean, I think he did a good job of putting her on display for the fucking piece of shit liar that she is. But yeah, it's 100% malicious. Everyone can see it. I don't believe she's that level of homeschool. I think she knew exactly what she was doing. That was the plan all along, and she was hoping that she could go on his podcast and win over Hassan's audience. That was confirmed at the end there. I thought that's what she was doing the whole time, and that's exactly what she was doing. She was hoping she could win over Hassan's audience with this performance of showing how brave she is, and the only thing that she went out of her way to correct and apologize for and say that she got wrong was the things that would make Hassan's crowd mad. For instance, not calling it a genocide and not knowing enough about October 7th. Like, the only thing she apologized was stuff pertaining to their politics. She didn't apologize to any of the misinformation about Ethan. She played victim, like, oh, I got tricked into saying stuff that's wrong, or is it wrong? Yeah, like she gave non-answers. I'm not going to sub to her channel, but I'm going to bookmark it so I can see her next video. Because how much do you want to bet? Place your bets right now, ladies and gentlemen. How much you want to bet that her next video is almost going all in on dick riding Hassan and that community, and just trying her best to get into their good graces, because that's what she really wants. I was gonna say she's doing it for clout, but she could probably get more clout from Ethan at this point during that podcast if she had played her cards right. No, I think that she really wants into that community specifically. She's that brainwashed by all of them. The level of brain rot on display there, man. It's genuinely depressing. I'm going to depress everybody in my audience right now. All of you guys watching this VOD, all you guys watching the live stream. Her vote carries just as much weight as yours does. Take that to bed with you. Speaking of which, I need to go to bed myself because it's almost 4 a.m. So I want to thank all you wonderful witches for watching. If you guys are VOD watchers, not every segment from the VOD, from the live stream, makes it into the VOD. So if you want to watch the entirety of these live streams and you can't make it live at midnight when we go live Eastern time, then you can become a channel member where you have access to full VODs. Otherwise, catch us live at midnight Eastern time. And to those of you who are watching live, thank you for watching this. And I will see you wonderful witches in the next one. Peace.